It doesn't even,
Oh yeah,
it doesn't even ask, like, are you sure you want to go live? Like Hangouts did. It's just like, oh yeah, by the way, you're live.
Yeah. Ugh, gosh. Okay, so we've been alive for almost a minute now, and I didn't even know.
There we go. There we go. That works. Oh, weird. Okay. I saw the chat coming through. I didn't even know that's like the main actual chat. That's weird. Okay.
Wait, what is?
I don't think it works on your end, but on my side, on the right-hand side, under just comments, like it's the actual chat, which is weird.
I don't have comments. I have private chat.
Yeah. No, I have access to click that button too, so we could like actually chat back and forth, so nobody knows what we're saying.
You know what? You probably have an account though.
Well, I do now too.
Okay, yeah, no, see, I don't.
But no, all the ones I've ever been on, I didn't.
Oh.
No, like I said, I got like a giant learning curve. This is the first time I ever actually went live. Like, I love how like you can go down here and like, oh look, there's me, and like, oh, here's both of us split screen. Like, here's both of us
I like the split screen like the most. I don't know, but it doesn't. I don't know.
Oh, you know what the coolest thing about this is? You can just put the link in the chat. Like with Hangouts. With Hangouts, you couldn't do that because people could just go ahead and join, and like they could kick you off your own live stream. With this one, you could put the link right in the chat, and you have to be approved before you're actually on. Like, I'll see you back.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. Okay, yeah, I can get on board with that then for sure.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about it.
That when Hangouts like kind of crapped out for a while, and it was like, where are all my contacts? Like, I don't know. Like how, and then you're like, what's everybody's email address? What's this? What's that?
Yeah. How come I can't find them? Like, you're going through Hangouts. You're like, why won't you pull up? Like,
when it was like unknown, you're like,
oh yeah. Or like you're like putting in their you actually have their email address, and it's not until you put the M in .com before everybody's like, oh yeah, by the way.
Populate. Yeah. What's up, Pedro?
What's up, Pedro? Yeah, I hated that. Like, wait, all of a sudden, like, you put in the .com, and when you put the M in, it's like, oh, by the way, did you mean this?
That's this person? Yeah,
this person that you talk to like every day for the last 5 months.
I guess nowadays, I think we're like going downhill, to be honest.
But yeah, no, I've been liking StreamYards. The only thing that I can complain about, but it's free, and if you pay for it, it won't happen, is it has that powered by StreamYard in the top corner. But
and also because when you're on Hangouts, your entire screen is just the chat. But now it's like you've got this private chat on here, and then underneath it's like you're in the show, everybody can see you. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like you might as well just be like watching YouTube.
Yeah.
So that is they'll need to fix that. But then again, you can also see everybody in like real time, so that it's not just like one or the other.
Yeah, I like it.
I like how you can do like the different settings of like people how they're on camera though.
Oh,
I do like the side by side.
I can do stuff like well, hang on, I'll do it in a second. I can do stuff like that. Or wait, yeah, that look, I can put up banners if I want to.
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh, thank God it's only on there for like 3 seconds.
Oh, I took it off. No, I can have it up there if I want.
You were just showing.
But no, you can make whatever banner you want, and you can just like cycle through them. Like, it's still up over here on my side, and I can just go ahead and click it whenever I feel like it. Like,
I got you. So yeah, it's like a.
Yeah, if I made like 7 different banners and they said different things, it'd be like, oh, there's one. Like, up, now it's gone. Like, there's a different one. Now it's gone. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of funny.
I think that's cool. Yeah, actually that's a good feature.
I don't know what brand is. Oh wow! I can change the color, the theme, the logo,
the color. I can change the color.
the overlay, the background, display. I can show display names. Look, now our names are gone.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
And now they're back.
What would you like your display name to be? Just kidding. We're not going to show it.
I've been on some of these where my name was some idiot, a different idiot.
Oh my god, yeah, that's true. I should have made something stupid. What's up, Sal?
What's up, Sal? Me and Sal were hanging out last night.
Yeah, Sal's awesome. I see that he on Instagram has started growing peppers. That's
yeah, he's a pepperhead now.
Yeah, he's welcome to the pepper growing addiction. You will be addicted before too long, and you will wind up with millions of seeds that you won't be able to use every year.
Oh yeah, and I can do this. I can also do like, hey, look, Eric has a comment.
Yeah, I seen that. I saw that on.
There's Pedro saying hi to Sal. There's Eric wondering why I'm late, and I think he's known me long enough why I'm late.
We were talking about Odyssey. And I was trying to teach him how to play.
Yeah, I don't really learn anything, but
I know that.
But she tried.
Yeah, Rick, really, you probably absorbed nothing from that.
No, I did.
No. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
No, I did learn a lot. I think that's all stuff I can do.
You can, but whatever. I'm not gonna say anything. I know it's so hard sometimes to watch you play. I'm like, oh my god, I just need to get out of here for a moment. Holy crap, my eyes hurt. I'm being so tired.
That's how much I've been playing that game. Like, that's when I know I gotta like shut down the game that I'm playing, because like my eyes, like I'll go over the map and all of a sudden I'm like, what the hell is going on? It just looks like
then you blink for like 5 seconds and your eyes start watering.
Yeah, like my eyes literally like glaze over, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
A bat chased you inside. I love bats. Except when they're in the cabin, they like pee everywhere.
This one lady, I was contracted to do her pool, and I showed up. There's two different stories. One was about my pit bull, about how she hates pit bulls. She's like, "Oh, your dog's so cute," and blah blah blah. She's like petting my dog and everything, Deevee. And she's like, "Oh, this dog's so great." Like, it was like 10 minutes later. She's like, "What kind of dog is it?" And I'm like, "She's a pit bull." And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm scared of pit bulls." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh my god, that's so typical.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you love my dog until you found out the name of what they call it, and now you're scared. But no, she also told me this story. She's like, "Oh, I hate birds." And I'm like, "Oh, you hate birds?" And she's like, "Yeah, when I was real young, a bat got stuck in my hair." And I'm such an asshole that I'm just like, "Oh, a bat's not a bird."
Bat is not a bird. A bat is not, it doesn't have feathers? No.
And she's like, "Well, you know what I mean." I'm like, no.
Something that flies?
Yeah, it's a mammal.
Fireflies, are they birds too?
Are you afraid of
birds?
Are you afraid of flying squirrels?
Are you afraid of airplanes? Well, I am, but not because they're birds, because they're planes and they fly and they're dangerous.
I love planes.
Ugh. I mean, I like planes. I just don't like flying in them.
I love flying in them. I mean, that's my favorite part of flying, is when you're sitting on the runway and you're waiting for clearance. Yeah.
You're like moving and it's like.
Oh, I love that, man. Yeah.
I like that because I know I'm going to be in the air helpless right away.
I put all my
at the mercy of the pilot. Like, come on, who knows if he's drunk or if he had hookers and blow the night before. I don't know. I don't know this guy.
Yeah, I put my trust in them. It's kind of like getting in a taxi or, letting your friend drive you or something like that.
Riding taxis.
No.
Mainly because they hit, like, they literally, like, sexually molest women in Winnipeg. Like, they do. I'd rather take the bus and, like, have, like, an extra 2-hour ride than ride in the freaking taxi.
Yeah, I love that feeling when you hear those engines like fire up. And I was so lucky when I came to Canada, I was right on the wing. Like my window looked right at the wing. So like I had the engines right next to me. So every time we were on the runway, I could hear and feel those engines like just starting to go. And I love that, man. Like you just start rolling down the runway.
I would feel safer if they would have like a parachute under every single seat and like an emergency exit at every single like window seat. Yeah, like 100%. I feel so much safer.
I don't know. Like if you look up the stats, like you're way more likely to
get into a car accident going to the airport. That I understand. I know, and I've heard that. But listen, like I've had way too many dreams where I die in plane crashes, and I've seen way too many long documentaries about how planes just malfunction all of a sudden. Like you also got to trust the maintenance guys who look after them. I mean, come on, some guy duct taping the goddamn engine before you leave. Like hello. And my ex was a pilot. So my dad was a pilot. My ex, I worked at the airport. I know my best friend was a flight attendant, and I helped her study for the exam on how planes fly. But my ex-boyfriend was a pilot, and we went to Toronto in like the middle of winter. It was like so cold out and blizzardy, and I was freaking out already. And the de-icing has like a couple stages, which I didn't know. So I put down the window because I was on the window seat, and he's like, "It's okay if it's green, it's fine. But if it's like bright orange, that's where you like really got to worry." And then I opened, and it was like all bright orange on the window. And I'm like, "Fuck!" I'm like, "Fine, like get me off this plane!" Like really, oh my god, I was freaking out. I even asked the flight attendant, I'm like, "Is it too late for us to like get off or what?" She's like, "Yes, we've already like left the." I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die." Yeah, no, it was horrible. Oh my gosh, coming back from Toronto to Winnipeg, not that time, but a time before that was when I really got like my phobia. Is when we hit turbulence, and it was so severe that like the flight attendants all like got jolted up and hit their heads on the ceiling. And I think I told you about this. And one of the flight attendants, he like fell down into an empty seat. And you could hear him saying like "fuck, fuck, fuck" under his breath, and he's trying to put his seatbelt on. And I'm like, hey, if you're panicking, that means I should be panicking because you're like made to not panic. That's how you're trained. Oh, it was horrible, and it's always coming back into Winnipeg. It's like the worst. I think maybe it's because it's Winnipeg, or maybe I don't know, but. It really is bad. They should have added that to the song.
Yeah. I love that song. Yeah,
so I at the airport in San Diego with a guy with the orange flashlights, the marshaller, guiding the airlines on the runway. I had to get back. Yeah. Well, I had to, when I went to the airport, I had to get my fire marshal license. And they like did that all. I had to put out a fire myself. Oh my gosh, that was nerve-wracking. And it was so windy that day. Jesus.
I didn't have a background check going back generations, but I did have to. My last job, I had FBI background check, Homeland Security background check. Like I had like everything. And it was hilarious because they're like, we're going to do that. I'm like, I don't care. Do it. Like, I don't have anything that.
Do you have anything to hide? Yeah, basically what they're asking you is, are you sure you don't want to like come clean about some of the shit that you did?
Yeah, that's why when I applied for my passport, I'm like, yeah, I got it. Like I knew right away. I'm like, yeah, if I got this job, man, like there's no way I can't get a passport.
Pedro, that's so funny. Yeah, he says he was trying to keep them away, like from flying into his face, but then that's like when like wasps are like that too with me. I find that like when I'm like, they are all more like attracted to me. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
But my mom once, she like killed a wasp and she's like, hey, it's done. And then I'm like, but mom, what if it's like family comes back like to avenge its death? My mom's like, they won't do that. And then there were like 3 wasps around her. Like this was in Arizona. And there were like 3, and she's like, fuck, maybe they do. And she like ran inside. I was too busy laughing to be afraid. Oh my gosh, it was like the cutest thing ever. Sal says they do hardcore bat. Yeah. And even to get your red pass, that's what your like the runway pass or whatever is. I had to get my red pass too. And that was before I had a criminal record though. And yeah, no, they are hardcore at the airport, especially now, like since 9/11.
The old 9/11 thing.
Oh man, I watched. Yeah, no, we were just Josh and I were just talking about this, like where we were, like when we found out. My dad was actually flying because he was a pilot. He was flying when that happened, and they even up here they grounded everybody. And I remember walking in from school. I was in grade 7, and I remember walking in. I know I'm young, whatever. Shut up. And I remember walking in, and my dad was like, both of you girls, like my sister and I, both of you girls, shut up, sit down, and watch this because this is going to be history. You will remember this for the rest of your lives. And I just remember for like the next 2 weeks, it was all like 9/11 news. And I had like this like big treasure chest of like, I kept all the newspaper articles that there were. I like printed out articles from the internet. And one of my girlfriends actually knew one of the guys who like passed away in that incident, and it was like really sad.
Yeah, I was like 22 and I was at work when it happened because I just got there and everybody was like, oh my god, a Cessna hit like one of the World Trade Centers. I'm like, whoa, what? And
That's what everybody said, like Cessna. It was like a small passenger prop plane.
Yep. And then we turned it on, and then we watched the second plane fly
Yeah,
right in.
that's what Josh was saying. Like he was saying that you guys all got to watch it live. Like no, we were in grade 7 class, and then they brought like like the TVs, like the big tube TVs.
Oh yeah, did you know
like, still attached to the?
Did you know that Sal was supposed to go to Walmart?
Oh, I did. I read that on his Instagram. I read like he had a whole little blurb about that. Sal, like thank the universe that you weren't there, obviously. Yeah, someone's looking for you or something, whatever you believe. But yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome, but it's awesome that like you weren't there and that you like made it. That's and you know what? Like, and even there, like there was El Paso, then Ohio, just the next day, like within 24 hours, there's like 9 dead in that bar shooting.
Oh yeah.
And they all like all the shooters like look the same. It's crazy. They're all white with like glasses and kind of loners, and you have to really wonder.
Yep. Oh, that brings well, that doesn't, but that's another thing I like about the StreamYards is notice how it doesn't like flip from camera to camera.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say how I don't like that because when I know you're talking, I can just like, okay, I'm gonna have a cigarette, relax and not say anything.
Could be MK Ultra.
What's that?
Mind control experiment by the CIA.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll have to look into that.
Oh yeah, they I believe part of MK Ultra was they went to like brothels and were slipping people acid and like just seeing what would happen.
Yeah, but that would be that like that's like Columbine too. Like they were disturbed from like the very beginning. Those 2 dudes. And I mean, I've read and watched so much on Columbine that I basically know like everything, like Eric and what was his name, like
Dylan Klebold.
Dylan Klebold, yeah, and they were just like super, like they just wanted to hurt people, like that was their thing. They, like all those, and there were like videos that the media has never seen. They were called the basement tapes, and they were saying you could see that Dylan was like kind of the follower of them, right? Like Eric was 1 year older, and that was just like, apparently from people that have seen the tapes, they're just like, it was so disturbing. Like they said that and for people to blame guns is like, they remember in Columbine where they blamed Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it promotes death and violence. No, like so do video games nowadays. Hello.
They're
like,
blaming the video games now too.
Odyssey? Like he's killing people with swords.
They're trying to blame the video games right now.
No,
which is dumb. Like that's like blaming cars for
playing video games, and then you compare that to how many people shoot up like bars and World Trade Centers. Like it doesn't happen. Like it's like maybe it's a decimal point of the people who actually do that.
Well, it's kind of like blaming, like if you take a vehicle and drive over a crowd of people, like now blaming the car.
I do believe, yeah, exactly. I do believe that they do need to have like background checks and the proper licenses to like conceal and carry a gun. That's how it is here in Canada. I mean, you need to have your license. You need to have a background check. They actually talk to all your relatives to make sure that you're stable to own a gun.
They have that.
And everything. Like, well, how can you be 15 years old and go into a Walmart and buy a gun?
You can't.
They can.
No, you can't.
I'm pretty sure you can. In some states.
You got to be 18 to buy a long rifle. You got to be 21 to buy a pistol. Period.
Are those the only like stipulations?
Well, that's the federal laws. Like if you're 19,
so a 21-year-old can go into Walmart and buy a gun.
As long as you pass background checks. If you pass background check.
Let's say you're in Texas and you're 21 and you go into a Walmart looking to buy a gun and ammo. Could you do that with no other like licenses? Nothing. Could you do that?
Yeah, but there's also
there you go.
But there's also a waiting period. There's also a waiting period too. Like I forget if it's 5 or 7 days.
You're still gonna get a gun in the long run. Exactly. Sal says easy peasy. Here, like they won't even like if you're at a gun store, like my dad and I, like we go hunting and stuff like that. Well, we bow hunt, but like even at him, like my dad's like almost 70 years old, and they're like, "Sir, do you have your license on you to even be able to hold the gun? You can't even hold it without showing them your license." And the license is like a long ass process. And my old boss, his brother-in-law was like suicidal and wanted to get a gun. And they talked to him, like the RCMP called like my old boss, Luke. They called his wife, they called like everybody. They sat him down for interviews and was like, is he stable enough to have a gun? You know what I mean? And then he's like checked his whole background checks. It's like getting a job. It's like in Texas, it's probably harder to get a job than it is to get a gun.
And Sal, you can get an automatic weapon license, and you probably can get it online. I don't know for sure, but it's a federal one, and it's a tax stamp.
That's yeah.
No. It's a federal thing. It's the whole United States, and it's not as easy as you think. You have Homeland Security, FBI. You have all kind of background checks, and it costs you like $15,000 to get the license just to buy the $15,000 gun. So, wait, you want to like throw down $30,000
for a gun? Holy crap!
You want to throw down $40,000 just to like do a mass shooting? That's not going to happen. You're going to go with the cheapest gun that you could ever find.
Yeah.
But I've known people that had automatic weapons.
Well, look at the facts, Rev. The kids are getting their hands on guns.
Yeah, but they're usually stealing them or getting them illegally.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, exactly.
that's why.
So then this is leading up to my next question. How is gun control going to fix anything? You're still gonna get a gun if you want to, or if they tell you to or not.
Well, yeah. Well, like you have.
Are you kidding me? They just harvest somebody's organs in Dominican Republic and sold them on the black market. And she fucking died. Like,
well, no. Like, if you really want a gun, like, are you going to go through all these steps and like background checks? Like, everybody keeps saying, like, we need better background checks. Well, if I really wanted to be one of those assholes and like shoot people, do you think I'm going to do that? No, I'm going to go rob somebody's house that has a gun.
Well, that's keeping your gun in a goddamn safe.
Yeah. Well, that some people can't afford a safe, unfortunately. But no, I mean, I don't know. That's the whole part of the argument. I don't think people.
But it's so funny. Like, they're like, Jim Jeffries says it best. He's like, oh, because he's British, right? Like
Australian.
Oh, sorry, he's Australian. Yes, that's right. And he was like, oh, you Americans say that you get guns for personal safety in case anybody robs your house. And then he's like, hey, I'm a robber. I'm going to rob you. And then he's like, okay, hold on. I got to get my gun. And then he's like, oh, crap, I missed it. Turn it around 4 times.
Oh, yeah.
It's like so true.
It's the same as the Bill Burr bit where he's like, I want to get a gun. And my wife's like, okay, you got to keep the magazine over here. You got to put the barrel over here. You got to put this over there. And he's like, what? So when someone breaks in, I got to like run around like a scavenger hunt, like putting my gun together. Like, where's the scope? In the living room. Right. He's in the living room.
But hey, a trigger lock, what we have on Josh's like massive 22 rifle upstairs is just a trigger lock, and it's under the bed. Like in 2 seconds, it's like and then right away it's ready. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't. If it's in a safe, it's like, oh my god, there's like numbers and then fucking things and shit like that, and then you got to get it out, and then you got to load it with the ammo. No, it's loaded. And we've also got the sword, and we've got a couple of, we got some knives and stuff. Like, maybe I shouldn't be saying that. We're all registered and everything like that, but still. But that's, and Pedro says it best, gun control doesn't fix anything. In the US, there are more guns than people. And probably then there are probably about 100 times the amount of ammo than there are people. So it's like, if guns were the problem, I saw that meme on Facebook, if guns were the problem, you'd know about it.
Yeah, well, World War II, I forget his name. I want to say Himamoto or whatever. One of the guys from Japan said that we would never invade the U.S. because there'd be a gun behind every blade of grass.
But they also, when they attacked the Japs, they also carried samurai swords in the Second World War. Like the Americans carried samurai swords.
Oh, I didn't know that. Eric says we got more guns in our house than us, which, more guns than people. Yeah, that could or may not be the same here. Oh, no. What? Opens with magnets? That's weird. But those, some of those safes are really cool. Like, you got your instant, they call them instant safes. Like, you just got a little number combination or whatever, and boop, 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 boop. You type that stuff in, door opens, and bang, you got your loaded gun ready to go. But yet, when you're not at home, it's locked up.
Did you know that in the Second World War, Texaco actually sent gas and oil to the Germans? Obviously, just to make a profit, right? And they were a completely American company.
Well, George Bush's dad got in trouble because they helped finance the Second World War through the Germans.
No.
It was
Well, Roosevelt didn't even want to go to war, and neither did Churchill. They only went to war because they knew that they were going to win as soon as they invaded Russia.
yeah. Well, yeah,
and that's it. And that's where like all the Canadians, out of the entire war, I believe there was only like 40,000 Canadians that died or whatever. There was like 600,000 Russians, or no, 6 million Russians, 4 million Germans. Like it was just like such a, and then even in the Holocaust, like they didn't even, like the Jewish people didn't even die as much as like the Germans and the Russians, but that's all you hear about really. And the Americans, it was like, I don't know, 800,000 or something.
And we didn't get into what, 1941? Yeah, December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor Day, and it was over.
Yeah, December 7th or December. I thought no, it was December 8th was Pearl Harbor.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the 7th.
Are you sure? Okay, yeah, maybe it was the 7th.
I don't know. Let's Google it.
I'm doing that right now.
Do it. But no, the war was over. The war with Germany was over.
That was half over. Like the war ended in 1945 and started in 1936, I believe.
I think technically 19 or well
no. Hold on, what was I looking up again? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know the European front ended in like what, April or May?
Yeah, it was December 7th, 1941. Yeah. Okay, I thought it was December 8th for some reason. No, wait,
yeah, the European front was over in like, I know Hitler's birthday is 4/20. It was after that, but I think it was like close to May that the European front was over. And of course, what was it? August 3rd and August 5th was Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I think that was correct. It was right at the beginning of August that the rest of the war ended. And did you ever hear about the guy? I can't remember which one happened first. He was like in Hiroshima. They dropped the bomb, and then he survived, and then he trained to Nagasaki, and then they dropped a bomb there too. So they literally
that's unlucky. That's like being struck by lightning twice.
Yeah, but he survived, so I guess it's not that unlucky. I guess,
well,
but that's fucking crazy, man. When I heard that, I'm like, there is no way that's true. And then I looked it up. And I'm like, oh, man, that's got to suck.
On a completely different subject, I was watching this documentary. It's called like the Dome of the World or something. But they're making this like massive dome to go over Chernobyl, like to like contain all the radiation. And it just like, it's just astounding. And it's crazy. Oh! I also watched The Imitation Game, which is about the Enigma, like the German Enigma, like and that was so brilliant how they were able to construct this machine that reset itself after every single day, so you were like never able to. But then Alan Turing, he was the one who, because I remember, Rev, I was telling you about this. Mm-hmm. Alan Turing was the one who built Christopher, the machine that would ultimately like reveal like all the messages from the Germans and stuff like that. And he was such a brilliant mind, which actually led to the invention of the computer. He made the first, it was called the Turing machine. And then they later started calling it just the computer. But Germans were ahead of their time, of course. Yeah. They were so brilliant. I mean, if it wasn't for like being like a Nazi, but I mean, like really, Hitler was pretty brilliant too, honestly, but he just was so greedy that's what like ultimately lost him the war. And I've had a few people argue with me that he lost the war because the Americans decided to join. No. He lost the war like well before that.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you guys haven't seen The Imitation Game, it is probably like one of the best movies, like the World War, like a good ass World War II movie, and it's all like true. It's like all a true story, and those are like my favorite, obviously, to watch. But yeah, no, it's so great.
Yeah, and the Germans were so ahead of their time that once the war was over, look up Operation Operation Paperclip. Or no?
Oh yeah. We put this up together. Remember?
Yeah, where everybody fought over the German scientists, all the rocket scientists. That's why NASA was founded.
Werner von Braun
Yep.
was actually a Nazi rocket scientist, but he actually came to America after the entire thing because he did not agree with that. There were 32 rocket scientists that the Germans had that came to America.
And Russia.
Didn't they like create like the V1 and stuff like that? The V1 rocket, and
they founded NASA.
Yeah, basically.
And not only that, but like there was even more. Like Russia got some, like Britain got some, like everybody got some. Like they were fighting over which scientists that they would actually get.
Yeah. Well, von Braun was only like 33 or something when he came here, or came there, I guess. Well, to the Americas.
I really don't remember what age he was, but I'm willing to bet that's probably about right.
No, I thought he was about like 33 years old when he came here. He was like the most brilliant. But Google doesn't let you say it all. That doesn't surprise me. But yeah, no, there's a whole documentary on just him too. I mean, like he must be in there, like in like Elon Musk's like brain or something like that, because he was a brilliant. Him and actually Walt Disney worked together. That's
and what the hell? I'm blanking on his name. The wickedest man on earth, Aleister Crowley. I'm pretty sure he was in on that too.
Oh my god.
Let me double check if that's correct. Because somebody told me that, and I'm like, there's no way that's correct. And I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
Who? Get down.
I think it was Aleister Crowley was also in on that too.
Oh, Coda! Oh my god. Fuck off. Stop. Get. Come on. Over here. Go away. Aleister Crowley. Yeah, I think that sounds right.
You know who he was, right?
I just watched this documentary. The occultist dude or whatever.
Yeah, he was all into like sex magic, and he called himself the Beast, the wickedest man, and the wickedest man on Earth. I forgot exactly what he called himself. The wickedest man on Earth, the wickedest man, something like that. The Beast 666. Oh, Jack Parsons. That's another one.
Who?
Jack Parsons, Werner von Braun. Wasn't Werner von Braun? My bad. I keep saying
it's pronounced Werner.
Oh,
it is Werner von Braun. Yeah, von.
Yeah, it's spelled with a W, but
yeah, but that's how they pronounce it over there.
There we go, right here. Yeah, the occult roots of NASA. Where's that? And Jack Parsons. I don't see where the hell in this whole story that they're talking about.
No. Coda, go back. Here.
Oh, there it is, right here.
Oh, I gotta get his weight around. Hold on.
Nope. Smith and Parsons' wife hit it off nicely. It was not too. It was not. And he was soon not much in evidence around the house and the OTO, which is the predecessor to the CIA. Gnostic mass temple in the attic. This later space was fully fitted out and even had a copy of the Egyptian Stele of Revealing, venerated by followers of the famous magician Aleister Crowley. who was a 33rd degree Freemason. Which, by the way, great story is Aleister Crowley. Apparently, like he was in, I believe, well, somewhere in Europe. I'm not going to pretend like I know where he was in Europe, but he was over there, and
he was born in the UK and died in the UK.
Hang on, let me look it up real quick. Wait, let me go back.
I'm pretty sure.
There it is right there. Hang on. Yeah. So apparently, like at one point, this lady named Barbara Pierce decided to go to Europe and went to one of his sex magic parties and came back and allegedly was pregnant when she came back. And people say that it was she was impregnated with Aleister Crowley's son. And Barbara Pierce became married to a guy that became our president, George Bush, who had their son,
H.W. Bush.
Yeah, who had their son, George W. Bush, which some people are saying is Aleister Crowley's son. And like I said, Aleister Crowley.
Trudeau is Castro's son.
I know, I've seen that.
I'm not even joking. Look at their resemblance.
I've seen that.
God, I probably showed you that.
I love that story, though. If you listen to it from, what the hell's his name? Freeman. He, if you know who that is, it's, he calls himself Freeman Fly. He's like a conspiracy theorist, if you want to call him that, and all that stuff. Like he looks up all kind of stuff.
Jesse Ventura and all that shit. Yeah.
No, he's a lot better. Like Jesse, kind of
credential wise, like.
I would say so. Yeah. Like Jesse just kind of like takes in some things and is like, oh, he's kind of like me. Like he just listens to things and he's like, oh yeah, that sounds about right. And then like he goes with it. But Freeman like literally researches stuff and can like prove every single thing that he says. Like he can't say it's 100%. He is
more credible then, yeah.
Yeah, he can't say it's 100% correct, but he can be like, no, but this source says this, that source says this source says this.
He keeps an open mind about, like, you know, he believes this, so that's why he researches it. And then he's like, okay, I just watched this documentary on flat earthers. And like, that's how they all came to be flat earthers, like on a completely different subject. Okay. No offense if any of you guys are flat earthers. You're wrong. But, that's how they're like, well, I heard it and I thought that it was funny. So I started looking it up. Well, I looked it up and I tried to see like how people, what they were thinking. Oh, your squeaky does work. And then I was, you're not going to convince me that the earth is flat. Okay. But I mean, and then one of the news reporters was like, well, why don't you get funding to go find the edge of the earth?
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, this guy named Mark Sargent. Okay, he has a YouTube account. It's Mark K. Sargent. And so I looked up his whole YouTube account, and I'm like, this guy is such a like. I mean, I don't mean to call him a loser, but like, he really just seems like that kind of guy who's like trying desperately to like get people to like him, and he lives in his mom's basement and whatever. And he's like in his 50s. He's probably about 50 years old, I would say, and he's like, spoiler alert, we have gotten the funding already to go find the edge of the edge of the earth, but we're going to go do that at some point. And I'm like, oh, and then they did, oh God, that's hilarious. I swear to God, this documentary was like a parody. Like they had all this information and they're like, hey, if this was true, if this turns out to be like this experiment, then the earth must be round. And everything that they said pointed to the earth being round. But they never said that. They said, well, what does this mean? And I'm like, oh my God. Like, you just said if this turns out to be this way, the Earth is round. And it's hilarious because this Mark Sargent's mother, they were like, and because he's like the king of the flat earthers or whatever, they deemed him that. And his mother, they asked his mother in the documentary, they're like, well, do you think the Earth is flat? And she's like, she looks at him and she's like, well, I mean, we haven't really been given proof that the Earth is round. And I'm like, oh my God, how much more proof do you need? We have taken pictures of the goddamn Earth. Oh no, but that's all a farce, right? Of course, it must be.
I love when they're like, I sent this rocket up, and this proves that it's flat. Okay,
but listen, if you believe that the Earth is flat, then you don't believe in gravity.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, that's why everything is round, because gravity is a focal point, and everything around it. And why are all the other planets round, huh? Tell me that. It's like when people say we never landed on the moon, for fuck's sakes.
Well, it's like when people say that dinosaurs never existed. Like, okay, well, I've never seen a dinosaur.
That's what they say. They're like, here's the fossils, and they're like, nah, that's fake. Yeah. They don't even think Australia exists. They think Australia is a made-up place, and all the people who claim to be Australian are just actors. Like, really? No, but I'm not even joking. This is what these people believe.
I was on a live stream last night with a guy from Australia. Pretty sure he's not making it up, and he's not an actor.
It was probably filmed in California somewhere. Like, that's, oh God. It's crazy. And like, you think about the people who say we've never been to the moon. Well, why would, like, millions of people try? Because I mean, they had, like, just in NASA, like 300,000 people just working for them. Why would they lie? Why would we lie about that? The only reason we would lie about that is if we were afraid of being nuked by, like, Russia or something.
Well, at the time we weren't.
Well, maybe you guys were at some point, but
yeah, at the time we were. And I could see where they would.
There's an increase in scientists attacking the theory of relativity. Okay, Einstein. Let's just go with this. Einstein's general theory of relativity is E = mc squared, which means that energy gets turned into mass the faster that it goes. That's what E = mc squared means, and it's been proven mathematically. And mathematics is a universal language. It doesn't matter what language you speak, you're going to get to the answer using this formula. I don't care if the goddamn aliens speak blah, blah, blah. You're still going to get to the goddamn answer. If you're on Earth, I should say.
Oh, yeah. But I still like looking at, like you said, like you were watching documentaries about it. Like, I still like looking into it.
I watched, like, did we land on the moon? Is the Earth flat? Of course I love to watch that. Just, I want to see, like, what these people, like, actually think, and how did they get to that where they began to believe that. It's like, I'm going to open up a bucket of worms. I might as well not say it.
Yeah, like, my personal theory on the moon landing is we actually went there. It actually happened.
But they just couldn't, because the pictures never came out, so they fabricated the pictures. I remember that's what you said. So Coda, please. So, but listen, the guy in this documentary, if you guys want to see it, it's called just Conspiracy, and then Did We Land on the Moon? It's pretty original, right? So they had the gentleman who invented the cameras to go on the astronauts, like, chests and stuff like that. They had him there, and he was like, and they were showing him a bunch of pictures, and he's like, I can't explain that. No, that wouldn't have been, like, my camera. But, like, and I get that, and it makes you wonder. But that's what a conspiracy is it makes you think, and there is a reasonable doubt beyond. But with a flat Earth, there's no reasonable doubt. Here's what it is. It's a goddamn round planet that we just happen to habitate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're on a Frisbee with an ice wall the whole way around.
Yeah, like, okay. So, and then he made a point. Okay, where was he? He was in Whidbey Island, in Washington, and he was like, so if the Earth is round, look, see those buildings over there? That's Seattle. Why can I see that? I'm like, do you know how big the Earth is? Like, are you that egotistical that you think that the Earth is so small that you're like, you actually matter? No. It's ridiculous. Okay, so then you can see Seattle. Why don't you go through a telescope and find China for me?
Yeah, because you can't.
Dunce.
Yeah, you might as well, like, think that you could dig to China.
Yeah.
You can't do that either.
If you dig, where do you think you're gonna go? You're gonna find the core of the Earth before you. Oh, what's a core? Oh, it's in the middle. Oh, but how can it be in the middle if the Earth is flat?
Yeah, that stuff all cracks me up.
The Van Allen space belt, the radiation. That's what they were saying. Okay, so they're saying that there's no way that astronauts in 1969 could get through the Van Allen space belt, which is all radiation. They're like,
well, no, I don't think that's the argument. I think it's that they can't bring the pictures back because the radiation belt would wipe the pictures clean.
So then how are we getting information back from Voyager?
I don't remember which one Voyager was.
Voyager 1 was the one back in the 80s that went out and took pictures of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, and recently in the last 5-10 years, Pluto, and now is actually into interstellar space. And also, their radio signals have just been cut. So, which means that was those radio signals that came back to Earth that happened no more. And the only way to fix that was to go do that manually, which is completely impossible because for us to even get there, all of the astronauts would die before they even got there. And then, so it automatically turned on somehow, even though it was supposed to be manually, and they caught a language on there, someone trying to communicate. And don't forget, this is the one with the gold disc on it. So this is the one with a 2-hour-long golden disc, like a record on there, Coda. And it had a language on it that no one knows what it is. And this just happened within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but I think the way they did that was...
I'm sorry, but it was not digital back then. This was back in the time of record players, which is why we had a record on there instead of a little tiny microchip that they could have plugged into their laptops.
Yeah, but I think the difference is going through the Van Allen radiation belt, it was like a radio signal versus actual film.
This isn't film, though. The Voyager never comes back to Earth. It's already out there. And the reason why Voyager 1 is way out in interstellar space and Voyager 2 went this way is because they wanted to photograph Uranus's moons, which they did. And 5 moons, by the way. Miranda was the one that they wanted to catch. So they decided, without the orbital, the gravitational pull of all these guys and then flying them out into this way, they went around this moon, which is completely across the way from when they wanted to go to Neptune. There is a good documentary on this. It's called Far Away. I don't know what he's doing. He's digging into the carpet. I don't know. Whatever. It's called, what is it called? Far Away Voyager 1 or something like that. It's on Netflix. And you guys are all American, so you have it. I had to change my VPN just to watch it. But yeah, no, it's really good. It is a really good freaking documentary. And it's still out there. I mean, it only showed, this thing goes 28,000 miles an hour in space. Okay? So it's out of our solar system. It's way into interstellar space right now. And it's still off and on, sending back Earth messages. Like to this day. 86, I believe, was the launch of this thing. Oh no, it was before 86 because 86 was the Challenger. This thing was launched before the Challenger crash. This thing actually, and it would take about 5 years for this thing to get through each planet or whatever. And then once it got to Uranus, everybody was watching the Challenger and not watching this pale blue sphere or disk, if you believe the Earth is flat.
That was another thing I watched live on TV. Was the Challenger? Yep, I watched that live.
I wasn't even born yet, but that fascinates me. And you know why the Challenger crashed is because it was too cold that day.
Yeah,
the Challenger could only take 53 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh my gosh, I know all about this. I know all about like the stars and the moon and spaceships. Like you guys won't ask me anything. But the only reason it crashed was because it was equal to or greater than 53 degrees Fahrenheit, which is how it had to be. There was a frost that day in Florida. It was frosted. It was about 20 something degrees. I think it was like 22 or 26 degrees Fahrenheit. And there was an O-ring that was right in one of the engines that like shriveled up and it was like kind of cracked or whatever. And yeah, and they were told by like many of the scientists, don't launch the Challenger. And then they completely ignored that. And did you know that there were about 13 or 18 people who knew not to do that, but they were all murdered? Like suspiciously, I don't know. Maybe it was a coincidence.
Yeah, that was Krista McCullough, who was the school teacher.
Krista, yeah. Yeah, and oh my God, her parents were like so proud, and then they were just like, when it exploded, they were like, what happened? That was like devastating. That was like absolutely devastating. But there was actually another scientist who said that there was some sort of like he was like part of inventing like their suits and stuff like that. And he said that theoretically they would have had this like mode engaged on their suits, and that he thinks that about 99% sure they survived the explosion because of their suits, but they crashed on impact into the ocean. Could you imagine falling and just like being like, I'm gonna die?
Yeah, I've had dreams where that happened.
Yeah, but you didn't actually die.
No, obviously not. I mean, I've had dreams where I got shot in the face. I got a dream. Because they say you can never die in your dream. Like I've fallen off cliffs. I've fallen like.
I had a million plane crashes in my dreams. I swear to God.
Oh yeah, and not only that.
The other night, I was in a dream and I knew like every time in my dream I get on a plane, I know we're gonna die. But I was playing for this hockey team. And we were like had to get on a plane, and I'm like, oh my God, this plane's gonna crash. This plane's gonna crash. And then all of a sudden, the plane like just took off, and then it like twisted, and we fell like this. And I was like looking out the window, and we like crashed. But I was still alive after that, and we went back. Apparently, the plane was fine, and we went back on the plane. Water bears on the moon, yeah, definitely the Coca-Cola bears.
Those are, well, I guess they're water bears.
Polar bears? Yeah, they live mostly in the water, you dunce. Well, yeah. On land, but
miles and miles out to sea.
What?
They'll swim miles and miles out to sea.
Just like, to hunt a seal, yeah.
Yeah, to hunt seals and stuff, but people think.
Well, it's actually cool with polar bears. Because the seals will like barricade themselves in like their dens. And the polar bears will be walking along, and they'll know when a seal is underneath, and they'll just get up on their hind legs, and they'll like smash, like Hulk smash down on the ice, and in order to get the polar bears out. It's actually fascinating. We've got them all over the place up here.
Yep. Oh yeah, Eric, I've had the same thing. Like I've had Well, it hasn't happened for a while, but I used to get deja vu like regularly. Like I would wake up and like go to work and I'm like, holy crap, like I remember this from my dream like 3 nights ago. Like that would happen to me all the time.
Or
It has
have you, like, not even in your dream, but have you ever had it happen where like you'll be engaged in something and you'll be like, what if this happens? And then it happens exactly as you think it will.
yeah.
You're like, what if this, like you're standing there and you're like, oh, what if a red Ferrari drives by? And then it drives by and you're like, what the fuck? That happens to me all the time. Not necessarily, my dreams are like way outrageous where that could never, like I've been on the Trade Center with no walls while the planes hit once. I've been on the Titanic where everything crushes down, but then I jump to safety and then I become a dumpster worker. You know what I mean? Like I just outlandish dreams, like really.
Yeah, what's up, Maya?
Yes, Pedro, glitch in the Matrix. I telling you. Or sing a song and it's playing on the radio. Yes! That happens all the time. Oh my God. Lately, whenever I go to sleep, I can't sleep anymore because I just like cued in my brain and I don't know why. But I start singing the SpongeBob theme song in my head. And like I'll be lying there and I'll be like, SpongeBob, and I don't know how to stop it. It's literally been like for the last 2 weeks. I don't know what is the most annoying thing. So then I'll have to think of another song and then that song will get in my head and then I'll start singing it like in my head. But yeah, no, where you sing a song and you turn on the radio and it's playing. Yeah. Oh my God, you're sweating. God, even my dog is sweating. It's hot as hell in here. It's 94 degrees Fahrenheit in this room, by the way. Okay, yeah. You're not gonna cool me down. If anything, you're gonna warm me up. Hey! Hey! Okay. Most songs come on at the same time every day. No, not SpongeBob. We don't even have hey, come on. We don't even have television, so. Yes, Lisa, way too hot.
Well, I didn't. When I used to listen to the radio, I didn't. It's been, I don't know. Or no, I can tell you, it was. Oh yeah, so I guess like 11 or 12 years ago was the last time like I actually actively listened to the radio. But no, I would find the same thing. I was like just listening to country at the time, and I would have like 3 country stations that I would go to because we don't have that many around here. But I would like go to one and it would like go to commercial and I'd go to the other one and they'd be going to commercial and I'd go to another one, they'd be going to commercial. I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, how are you all going to commercial at the same time?
Yeah, and then it's like one like gets to a good song and then you change it and that's a good song and then you change it and that's a good song and you're like, which one do I listen to? See, I don't listen to the radio like at all. I mean, I used to when I worked in the body shop, but unless I'm in the truck, I really don't at all. I listen to Spotify or YouTube.
Yeah, I listen to, what the hell do I listen to? Oh, Pandora. That if I listen to music, I haven't even listened to Pandora in probably 2 years, but when I did, that's what I would listen to. What's up, Lisa?
Not sure what that is.
What, Pandora?
Oh yeah, Lisa, how was your amazing dinner? Your jalapeno chicken pork tenderloin bacon.
Cornbread. Don't forget cornbread. That was the part where I was down with everything. And when she said cornbread, I'm like, whoa, wait, what?
I actually love cornbread.
I do too. I'm not a bread fan, but like if you have any kind of bread, I want cornbread.
If I'm gonna eat bread, if I'm gonna like I'm gonna put some of my stuff in like a tortilla or flatbread. I'll have subs. But if I want like a good like dinner roll, I need gravy. Like I need a dinner with gravy. And then I'll put butter on the roll and then dip it in the gravy, or like a cornbread again, like dip it in like the juices and stuff. Oh, so good. Or garlic toast with spaghetti, or butter chicken with naan bread with butter chicken is so good.
Oh, garlic toast. I haven't had that in so long. I
What,
love
butter chicken?
garlic. No, garlic toast.
Oh, garlic toast is so good. It's so good on a ciabatta bun, like as a ciabatta bun. And then you actually, we made this dip the other day. It's horseradish, mayo, and sour cream with like chives in it. It sounds gross, but oh my God, it is so good with fries. So good with fries. I just love, well, I love horseradish anyways, but.
Oh man, I'm disappointed in myself. I have gravy in the cupboard. I have potatoes. I've got oil. I could like fry myself up some fries and like pour gravy all over them and
Yes.
do something else. And
you need cheese curds, and then you can make a poutine.
Yeah. I'm disappointed in myself.
I figured out where they sell poutine, or not poutine. I know where they cheese curds, like real cheese curds. I figured out where they finally sell them, because they don't sell them at like the grocery store. Like they're like specialty cheese from Quebec. And there's this place called Bothwell Cheese, like just on Provence, which is near the Forks there, which is where I wanted to take you. But apparently they have horseradish cheese there, which comes in like blocks like this for $1.50. I had it at Joe's. It is so good. They have like hot like jalapeno and like Reaper cheese. They've got black peppercorn cheese. Oh my God, like just the whole work. It's like $1.50 for a brick. I can't even believe it.
Yeah, Pedro, poutine. I was a virgin to poutine until Susie hooked me up.
Yeah, well, you didn't get the best kind of poutine. You had chicken. What did you get? Chicken bacon ranch?
Yeah, and you had the triple pork.
Yeah, the triple oink, as they call it.
Yeah. So good though. I want some like right now.
Oh my God, I want some right now too. I haven't actually had poutine since you've been gone.
Yeah, that's like almost 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've had some like at home, but it's not the same with just like shredded cheese. Like you have to get the real cheese curds.
Yeah, I got to figure out where I can buy cheese curds. I don't think my
Pedro, mine had bacon, pulled pork, and what else did mine have? It was a bacon, pulled pork, and Italian sausage. Oh yeah, it was in gravy with cheese on fries. So good.
It was so good.
Places, yeah.
Especially because like I went to work, I did a live stream, I stayed up all night, then went to the airport, I went to Chicago, I drank at the airport there, made it all the way to Winnipeg. We went to the store, grabbed beer, drank all night long, ordered a pizza, but it never actually came. And then we woke up the next day.
We don't know if it came or not.
Yeah, we woke up the next day and we were like, we're so hungry. We were like, oh, let's go get poutine, and we did.
So we walked to Smokes, which was right downtown.
Oh yeah, it's Smokes Poutine.
Smokes Poutineery, yeah. Oh. Eric, if you want to try poutine, just you'd have to find like real. No, you know what? Don't even bother. When you come to Canada, try real poutine. Yeah, but you need real cheese curds, Pedro. Like real cheese curds, and those are hard to come by. Do you guys have Shoppers Drug Mart down there? No. Okay.
I don't think. I don't know. I've never seen an HEB, but Lisa has an HEB, but she lives in Texas, and I don't. I'm looking up.
So I know it's some Shoppers you can actually get, like they have like a food section and you can get some cheese curds. Look it up, Eric. Cheese curds are like squishy, almost like very rubbery, but they're cheese, obviously.
What the hell is this? It looks like breaded cheese curds. Like
No. Well, unless you like that kind of thing.
oh, they're beer battered cheese curds. Damn, $44.30 for 2.5 pounds. Holy crap! What kind of cheese curds though?
Hold on. You can get. I'm looking up cheese curds, Illinois or Indiana. You're in Indiana. Sorry. Cheese curds.
I know that's what I'm looking up right now. Like, tell me my grocery store has cheese curds.
The top 15. Okay, right here we go. Do you guys have a Culver's close to you, Eric? So number one would be okay, but I see. But these aren't like actually like grocery stores. These are probably just restaurants. You can just order like a side of cheese curds and take them home, I'm sure.
Oh, here is a recipe for fried cheese curds. Oh, that looks awesome.
But you just put the cheese, like you fry the fries, and then you put the cheese curds on just like they are, and then you put the hot ass gravy on, and then it like melts on your fries. Yeah. Here, hold on. I'm gonna just show you a. Oh God, damn it.
Oh, what's it? Wait, where?
Yeah, it literally is what he said. It's like squeaky cheese bites. That's what cheese curds look like. Like they're just, but they're like they're yeah, but they're like squeaky. Like if you chewed them just like as they are, it would like squeak between your teeth. But they melt perfectly with gravy on fries. I'm gonna show you a. Like this would be like a good picture to show you of poutine.
I want that.
Yeah, me too. Hot sauce on it, and I usually put vinegar on mine. Do you guys have A&W down there, or no? Is that just a Canadian thing?
Not here. We don't have most anything here. Like everything that everybody's like, oh, we got White Castle, we got In-N-Out, we got like all this other stuff, and I'm like, yeah, we don't have any of that stuff here.
The A&W has like actually like pretty good poutine. I'm not gonna lie. Like the gravy is not the best, but they actually use real cheese curds. I went to a restaurant here that had white cheese slices as the cheese, and I'm like, eh. Okay, yeah, Culver's has good poutine, and A&W has actually good poutine. Well, but aren't you Canadian though? No, probably not.
I don't think Pedro. No, I think Pedro is in California, isn't he? Sorry,
I wonder would they have poutine in an American A&W?
Oh, here it is. Mozzarella cheese curds. I'm looking up my grocery store to see what.
Okay, so he's pretty close to Canada, anyways.
Oh, right. Yeah, Pedro's from Detroit. My bad. I remember him talking about Detroit.
Yeah, that I remember that the old drive-ins. Now the only drive-in style that you have in Canada is up in Flin Flon.
Yeah, the only kind of drive-in style where they come up to your car that we have around here is I can't even remember the damn name because it's way up the road. I've only been there twice. I went there with my dad, and he bought me a burger, and I was like, "Damn, that's really good." And then I ended up the next time I was by there, I bought another burger from him. Oh, what the hell is that called? Rallies. I think I can't remember. I think it was called Rallies. Or no, or wait, maybe it'll come up on Google Maps. Wait. Yeah, not that far. Right there. Sonic. That's there you
It's
go.
going with like 2 drive-throughs on either side, isn't it? Isn't Sonic the one that has like a drive-through on this side and a drive-through on the other side? No.
Well, it's a kind of like a drive-through, and then they got like a drive-up, and like you just order your stuff.
And then they bring you it like on
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking Rallies. I think Rallies is like a Hardee's type knockoff or, brand or whatever. But no, I'm looking at it right now. It's Sonic. It's right across from the McDonald's up in Grandy.
Of course. I find that like all fast food restaurants are like clumped together.
Yeah, that's like way up in Grandy. Like I'm not driving all there.
We have McDonald's, of course, Burger King, Wendy's, KFC. We've got Arby's, Harvey's. We've got Junior's, which is kind of fast food. It's like you go in and you order and take it out. Like they don't have a drive-through window. Like I don't get fast food that much. I don't really know what else there is.
We never went to a Tim Hortons. Not that I'm like big on that or anything, but that's just one of those things.
Tim Hortons is like way overpriced for you can get the exact same coffee at McDonald's for $1, and they charge $2.25 for a large.
Oh, it's more than that at Starbucks here. It's like $5.
Yeah, same here. It's like $6 for a large coffee here, but I'm saying it's overpriced. But they, if it's the only thing around, that's what they basically count on is people not traveling so that they can get better stuff. But I remember like it's like almost $20 to get a sandwich and a coffee. It's like A&W. A&W basically have to take a loan to get a burger. No, but for real.
Every time I see the name Higgins Avenue, it just cracks me up.
Yep. Not here, Pedro. Up here, it's $2.25 for a large. I mean, that's back when I was getting Tim Hortons every morning, which is years ago. So it might have even gone up now. I don't know.
Here's that friggin' thing, man. Kum Kun Garden and the Dim Sum Garden. Like
that's in Chinatown.
Yeah, that's the thumbnail of me and Shocks there on my video. We're standing in front of Kim Kun Garden because I think JT called it Come Soon Garden.
Well, what about your gas stations that are come and go?
Oh yeah, we got all kind of dumb names.
They get you with the Canadian tax. Yes, they do. It's so funny. It's like, okay, so your subtotal is $13, but your actual total is $18.36. And you're like, what the fuck? You're like, how? And that all goes overseas anyways, because our prime minister is a fucking...
Oh, dude, what the heck? Have you ever been to Lunch Bell?
No, never even heard of it.
Oh man, it's right on Main Street, like kind of like.
I've never heard of it. I stay away from restaurants on Main Street. Other than if they're downtown, that's great. But if they're in the North End, then no, you don't want to go there.
It's
You
technically.
can bet there's like cockroaches, rats, mice everywhere. Probably pigeons in the vents.
It looks so good. It's on the corner of Henry Avenue and Main Street, but kind of like on Higgins and Main Street too.
Yeah, I know. Then definitely don't. I just live off Main, and I know that. So
that looks so good. Or wait, is this a damn? Oh, no. Oh wait, I was there. Circle of Life, Thunderbird House.
yeah, the one with the big teepee looking thing.
Yeah, that was my video. I thought it was the other one where the condos were. What the hell is that called? That big like spaceship or Space Command looking thing. It's like a big round building like up in the air. And
oh, that's the Aboriginal Center.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, I know what you're talking off Henderson. Yeah, like that. I know exactly. We're like, okay, there's the the Disraeli Bridge, and then it's like right here, like the big circular thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because we were on Disraeli Freeway.
Yeah.
What's it called?
What? The condos?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Do they have a name? They like literally have been building that for 10 years. So.
I don't know. It looks like it's been vacant for 10 years. That's for sure.
Well, it has been. I've never seen anybody living up there as long as I've lived in this city.
See, I'm trying to see if I can find it. Yeah, because it was right next to the Disraeli freeway because I remember Shock saying Disraeli freeway or Israeli freeway. I'm like, no, it's the Disraeli.
Yeah, it's spelled Israeli, but with a D at the front. Yeah.
Yep.
It's actually a bridge.
Oh yeah.
If you guys had gone a little bit further, you would have been right over the river.
Yeah, the Red River.
Yeah, the Red River. That's where they pull out dead bodies. That's why no one fishes on it. Unless you're trying to find a dead body.
Where we come? Down here. Mattress warehouse and more.
This city is such a dump. Like seriously.
I don't know why I didn't actually like look at the map before I went there and figure out a bunch of places I wanted to go. Oh, damn it. I forgot about Carnival Brazilian barbecue. I wanted to go there too.
Yeah, I've never been there. All I hear is you get the meat sweats after you leave.
Yeah. Isn't it like
it's like all you can eat, like they bring out those things and then they like cut off all the meat, like it's all you can eat, yeah.
Yeah, fixed price menu of unlimited meats carved at the table.
Yeah.
See, I'm like the worst person to go there and pay for that because you've seen me eat. Like I eat so slow and I don't eat a lot.
See, I don't. I'd be like, here, more. And then I'd be like, where's your fucking hot sauce?
Oh yeah, I have to find some cheese curds. That's my goal for tomorrow. I'm gonna go find cheese curds. They're probably expensive too, aren't they?
I would imagine they would be expensive, probably, especially for you, because they're not like native to where you are. They're made in Canada, like they're Canadian.
Because I just take cheese, but like not boil it, but put it in hot water, right? Isn't that how they make it?
What?
I thought I saw that while I was looking it up.
I have absolutely no idea, but that doesn't sound, I don't know, it just doesn't sound right to me.
Whoa, I don't even know what the hell that. Whoa, what the hell is that? I'm just like finding all kind of restaurants that we should have went to. Bluefish Japanese. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, you don't want any of like the Asian cuisine around here. Trust me.
But then there's Hermanos.
Hermanos actually is really good. They have their own like stone pizza oven that's like right out basically that you can see everything. Yeah, it's really good there.
Oh,
we went there for one of my mom's birthdays actually.
And Bailey?
That's right downtown.
Is Bailey's good too?
Yeah, didn't I tell you about Bailey's?
No. You told me about Carnival. I remember that because
that one's on I think like Lombard or McDermott or there's whatever. It's right across from Highs. Anyways, you know that like statue that you had with like the kids playing in the tree? It's like just one block over Bailey's. It's like
it's like John Hirsch Place, Rory Street.
Rory, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bannatyne. It's like right there on all three of those.
Yeah, no, you can see it off of Main Street. Yeah.
Now I remember talking about Carnival, and you were like, "I've never been there," and I'm like, "We should go." And then I looked it up, and it was like $40 or $50 a person, and it was like all you could eat. And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know about that, man." Like I guarantee I'll eat like $7.
Yeah, no kidding.
What's the other one? You said, oh, there's a Tim Hortons right there. Wait, what the? Oh, no, that's the other thing. I can never find the damn hotel that I was staying at.
The Marlboro. It's on Gary Street or Smith. It's 331 Smith Street. I remember that because I've had to say that to a million delivery guys. So.
Where the freaking hell is Smith Street?
It's the second one, or wait, off of Main Street. Off of Portage Avenue. It's north of Portage Avenue. It's the second or third one off of Main Street.
Portage and Smith. Oh, wait, I can always find it by looking at the airport because it's like a straight run from the airport.
Oh my God, it's not. That's okay. Go to Portage in Maine.
The worst intersection for car wrecks.
No, that would be McPhillips and Layla.
Why can I not find Portage at all? Wait, there's the Radisson.
The Radisson is on Portage, you dunce.
There we go, right there. Is that? Oh, okay, there's Smith.
Now it's like right before Ellis. Like remember, Ellis is where the LC was.
Yep. Where's it at? Yep, there's the LC. Right there's where I was yelled at by some guy and told off. That's how I always get my bearings.
Yeah, when you were like, "Oh, there's where I was told off." Yeah.
No, just finding the Marlboro.
Yeah, I got you.
Which we didn't know was haunted, and we didn't find that out until like months after we stayed there.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that because, well, we were basically passed out just all the time. Like we kind of slept whenever we wanted to.
Yeah, or else we were watching that yelly guy.
That was like, Oh my god, those you'd wake up and those commercials would be on. You'd be like, shut the fuck! Like this is all.
Oh man, they'd have like 12-minute commercials. It was the craziest thing, man.
Yeah, you're like, we haven't seen a commercial in like half an hour. This is good. And then all of a sudden, oh great, now we're starting.
One commercial and we watched half an episode of a show.
Yeah, right. That tattoo one. Oh my god.
That was some funny stuff. Gaucho's Steakhouse. I don't know where that is, but I'll like to go there.
Where?
Pedro was saying Gaucho's, if I'm saying that right, Gaucho's Steakhouse had me in a meat coma.
Oh, in Winnipeg? I've never heard of that one.
I'm betting it's around where he lives.
Okay. Yeah, because I never heard of it.
And earlier, I'm just sitting here playing Odyssey, and then I'm like, what the hell is that noise? And like, it was my neighbor cutting his grass. I'm like, what the freaking hell? Like, it's almost dark. And like,
oh, freaking hell. Sorry, I've got to collect my shit on my game here. Just give me, yeah, I'm listening still.
But like it, and like I just kept hearing it and hearing it. And I'm like, man, that's weird. Like I couldn't figure out what it is. And I looked up, and finally I saw him driving by, like out on the road. He was like cutting the side of the road, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's my neighbor on his mower. I thought it was like a plane that just kept being very close to me. And I'm just sitting there, and then like I'm like, wait, it sounds like he's getting closer and closer and closer. And I'm like, wait, he's got to be like right in front of my house. My dog started freaking out. And then next thing I know, he's like knocking on my door. He needed a beer and a cigarette. And he was like, hey, man, can I get a smoke?
Really? You can just ask for people for beers out there and they won't care?
With him, yeah. No, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, you'd never be able to get away with that here. People would be like, get the fuck away from me, you bum.
Well, he's my next door neighbor, and his wife and kid are about to like go on a vacation for a couple weeks. And I used to work with him. Like I got him his job.
Oh yeah, was that or Corey or something?
Mike.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's why I did like shut down my live stream. I was like, all right, well, I'll just hang out with him for a couple minutes. And turned out like we ended up drinking a bunch of beer, and he was like eyeing up my vodka and stuff. I should have given him a couple shots, but I didn't even think to do that. I didn't think he was going to be here that long. But no, he was telling me all kind of stuff about like what's going on at work, and yeah, not too good.
Wasn't that the one? Were you going to get him a job where you were working?
I did get him a job there. We worked for like a while. Like he was all disappointed because he got a job there and we only worked 3 days a week. Like he was off Monday, Tuesday, and I was off Wednesday, Thursday. So he thought we were going to be like Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble, like, rolling into work together and stuff. And then, well, I don't work there anymore. But no, he was like coming over telling me like all kind of crap about like, oh yeah, you wouldn't believe what's going on. And when he told me, I'm like, yeah, I totally believe that. That makes total sense because I saw it going that way like right before I was gone. But
I think I might make some eggs in like a little bit, to be honest.
You gonna do?
I don't think I will. I think I might just like stick with my, because I might add some like sausage and like jalapenos and stuff like that with it. So.
Well, I was gonna ask, are you gonna do it the Gordon Ramsay way, like scrambled?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I know what you're gonna ask.
I've done it a couple times, and to be perfectly honest, I don't see the difference. Like everybody's like, oh, it's so much better. And
how, like, what is the process that you use with your eggs?
Well, I put it on low heat, like pretty low heat, and I crack the eggs in the skillet instead of like a bowl. And then I just start mixing them up and like take them off the heat, keep stirring them up, put them back on the heat. Like once they actually start getting a little bit, like start cooking a little bit, I'll take a bunch of cheese, like Mexican 4 cheese, and put it all over it. But then it's the same thing, like on the heat, like make sure you're stirring it constantly, take it off the heat, stir it, put it back on the heat, stir it, off the heat. And you keep doing it until they're done.
Whisk?
I've been using a fork, but
yeah, that's what I used.
Yeah, I really don't see the difference though. They taste the exact same. But I don't know. Maybe I'm cooking them too much. I think
saucepan. That's what I told you. I said that's how Gordon Ramsay does it with a saucepan instead of like a skillet.
Right, yeah. Yeah, now I'm using a skillet.
See, I'm gonna have to really figure out what the difference is between all this, because
that's what Pedro said. You got to use a saucepan. Skillet.
Yeah, I like my eggs like in my frying pan with I'll cook my sausage for a little bit, and then I'll add like a little bit of onion and some jalapenos or whatever pepper. It just so happens I just have jalapenos right now because nothing's ripe. And then I'll just add my egg after, and then I'll add like my spices and stuff just in with the sausage. So, but that's just me. Scheller, how are you?
What up, Scheller? I am like so excited about tomorrow. Like, I hope my store has cheese curds. They better freaking have them.
They probably won't. Like, honestly, I'm not even lying. Like, not even here do our like Save On, Freshco, Safeway, Superstore. None of them even have cheese curds here, so I wouldn't bet on it. Like, you have to go to like a specialty cheese store for that. But I mean, that would be awesome. Oh my god, I would love to see like your own variety of poutine.
Oh, I'm just doing straight up poutine. Like, it'll be just homemade fries, gravy. Well, I guess if I can find cheese curds, that'll be on there first, then hot gravy over top of it. But if I can't, I guess I'm just going with, I don't know, some kind of
use like block cheese, like whatever. Like, you just go get some like mozzarella or whatever. Like that would be fine too. It's not the same, but I mean, we've done it and it tastes delicious. So it's not the same. That's the only thing.
I just remember thinking like, what the hell are cheese curds anyway? And just grabbing one with my fork and eating it. And I'm like, tastes like cheese. It probably wasn't.
I think it's just like the texture that people like when it melts and stuff like that. But yeah, no, like I said, you can do that with anything. Fuck it.
Yeah, I think it wasn't squeaky because, it was. Wait, I totally lost what the hell I was saying. I think I was going to say it wasn't squeaky because it was hot. But I don't remember it being squeaky. Hey, Coda. Coda, what you doing, buddy?
What are you doing?
Waiting on Mama.
Okay. Here, line up.
Good boy, Coda.
Well, I found him this like freaking stuffed animal because I felt bad because he has like no toys really. And
my dog has no toys.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like felt bad because he kept like chewing up everything, and like obviously he's a chewer, so he needs like toys or whatever. But
yeah, the only toys my dog has are, I buy these like big cow bones with the sinew and the meat still on them.
But he'll eat that in like literally a day. Like Koda will eat that in a day.
Yeah, mine. Well, I buy her a bunch of them. Like every time I'm like, I got some extra money, I'll like, because they're like $5, $7 or something like that. I'll buy her one, and then like I'll buy her another one like a couple days later. And
well, we can go to the like the store in the meat department, they'll just like keep all their scraps and stuff like that, and they'll basically charge like $6 for whoever gets to it first, but not a lot of people know about that. So we'll be like, hey, and then it's like a big bag like this of just like fresh, like raw meat bones, but like good meat, like roast beef, like you got your lamb, you got your steaks and everything like that, and they're about this big per bone. And he'll but the thing with him though is he like leaves them outside, and then like ants get all in it, and it's just so gross.
There's one right here. Oh shoot, there's 3 right here. Here's 3 of her bones right here. They're just these size right there, and here's one right here.
No, but so would be done that in like
they start this big,
from like a big thing with like the 2 big things on the end. Yeah.
You want this?
We brought home a toy. Like I remember buying that like Rubbermaid tote for my plants for doing like the Kratky, like DWC or whatever. And I had all the stuff in there. I was like, I don't need bags. I'll just carry all the stuff in here. And we had one toy for him way at the bottom. And as soon as I walked in, he like jumped in the bucket and got that toy like he knew it was for him. And this toy was supposed to be like a heavy duty for dogs who chew, like Rottweilers and Dobermans and Pit Bulls and stuff like that. He literally chewed that up in an hour. Like it was everywhere. The stuffing, the squeaker was like under the couch somewhere. Like it was just crazy.
Yeah, somebody told me like, when I first got Stevie, they were like, pit bulls are chewers. You should get them a Kong bone. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I just so happened to have a Kong bone. I was like, oh, well, there we go. Well, I made the mistake of putting the treats inside the Kong bone because my dog ripped apart the Kong bone like in one night. Like she just destroyed most of the Kong bone just to get the treat out. And I was like, okay, well, that wasn't a smart idea. Like it's supposed to be like indestructible, like no dog.
The yellow thing that you guys call like my sex toy, and I put his treats in there. He like hates that unless there's treats in it now, but he doesn't destruct it. He just like strategically gets like he chews the inside so the treats like crumble, and then he'll go on his side and like all the treats will fall out. Like I know. Yeah, he's lying on his toy right now. Like he's just like lying there like dead on his side, and is like he's like using his toy as like a pillow. It's cute.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about, Pedro. I don't get her the big knuckles, but I get her like the leg bones that are like this big. But still, same thing. I think they're smoked and they got like sinew on them and like all kind of stuff. And yeah, like the first day, she rips every bit of like meat, sinew, everything off of it, and it will be completely clean by the time the first night's over. And then after that, she just keeps chewing on it until like it's completely gone. Here, you want this one? Or this bone? Oh, you want that bone? Oh yeah, get it. Hang on, I gotta take a wheeze.
Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, that's easy. How in the hell? Jesus. Sorry, I'm just trying to play my game here. Oh my God, what the fuck? Ah, there we go. Finally, Jesus.
Yeah, I've been planning on getting the Knuckles, but those sucker, I think they're like an extra like $1 or $2 or something like that. So I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
So I would do that with Coda. Like I would get him like one of those big ones. I'm very skeptical of like treats that you just buy like from the store. Like I'm with him, I'm very, very wary of feeding him like preservatives and like because he eats like fresh vegetables with his food and he loves it. We give him raw food, like raw meat all the time because like raw meat is like the best food that you can give him. I'm just very, very weary of buying, and I've heard like a lot of horror stories, and so yeah, I like Scheller just said, you get this from the butcher shop. Like yeah, I get all. I know you were talking to me, but I get all my like the bones that he eats like straight from the butcher shop. They're all it's $6, like I said, for like a big bag of just bones, like the ends of stuff that they like butcher up at the butcher, and it's all raw meat. So he pulls all the raw meat out, pulls all the raw bone marrow out. It's not cooked. And he'll just chew on that and he'll love it. Like he'll love it.
Yeah, all these bones, there's no marrow whatsoever left in them. They're all like completely.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Like the marrow is like super good for that.
Yeah, she loves her bones. But that's the only kind of treat that I give her. Like I gave her that Kong bone, she destroyed it. I had some rope like with 2 knots on it, and she just destroyed that. The only thing she doesn't tend to destroy are just the bones, right? You like the bone? Where's your bone? Where's your bone? But she's not a chewer. She doesn't like my mom's dog is a chewer. Like if I leave my flip flops by the door, she'll like end up tearing up my flip flops and stuff. What up, Rob?
Yeah. Oh, hey, Rob. Yeah, no, my dog is a chewer. He like even when he's excited, he'll bite you, like just because he thinks he's playing with you. But that's what like the Australian Shepherd, like with any shepherd, they're bred to bite like the legs of sheep, right? So that's how they're bred. So even him, like he'll jump up and he'll like bite like my shoulders or my tits, like even like he'll like jump up and bite you, and you're like, fuck, like no, but really like that, but that's how they are.
Well, I mean, it is a guy, so of course they're gonna bite.
No,
tits.
no. But yeah, no, Coda gets a little carried away at most times and can't really grow him out of that. It is what it is. I mean, he's a dog, right?
And he's a guy, always going after tits.
No. Well, what explain that he goes after Josh's too.
Josh's tits?
Josh's dangly part.
Maybe he just doesn't like them.
No, but like every time I let him outside, if he's excited, he'll grab the first thing he sees and he'll just start running around the fire pit. Like he'll just start running around the fire pit. And there's like no stopping. If you try to get it away, he'll just run the other way.
I've seen him with the soccer ball.
Oh no, like that's not even half of it. Like he'll grab like as soon as he knows we're going outside, he'll open the little door to go to the back, and then he'll grab like because our laundry basket is right there, he'll jump up and grab a piece of laundry, and then he'll go outside and he'll start running around, and he can't. You're like, that's my t-shirt. Like, damn it. Yeah, he's starting the mosh pit exactly. Yeah, he's. Oh my god! Look at you. Tired from destroying everything, or what? Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know you.
I never got the raw bone, but we don't really have a butcher shop around here, so I can't exactly get like raw bones and stuff like that. But
If you want to come up, you can come up. Oh.
look at the boy.
Yeah.
You doing? You want up?
Nope.
Pour yourself up.
Hey, those are. He'll eat anything. I swear to God.
There we go.
He eats like hot sauce and like pickled everything. Like, I swear, this dog will just eat anything. Okay.
It's funny. Like she was freaking out when my neighbor came over earlier, and like he just knocked on the door, and like before I could even get to the door to open it, all I could hear was him outside going like, "Settle down, dog. Settle down, puppy." Like he knows all about my dog and how she is. And like the second I open up my door, he just like walked right in, like not scared of her or anything, and just started petting her.
Yeah, Rob, that's what we do. That's where we get our bones. I don't trust like pet store ones at all. They're just made with too many bad things for my dog.
Yeah, and like you said, I don't trust the treats. Like,
Yeah.
my dog will like them, but I don't know what the hell's in there. Like, I look at the ingredients, I'm like, I can't even pronounce that crap. You
Yeah.
know? That's like the general rule for me. If I can't pronounce stuff, you probably shouldn't buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, my dog only gets the best. I mean, his dog, his a little bag of food for him is like $40 for us. But
What's up, Will?
look at how like happy he is. I took off his collar because he's like gaining so much weight that his collar was like getting like way too tight. And he's like, he's been like living his best life since he doesn't have his collar on. Like, look at this fluff ball. Eh?
I did the same thing, but it wasn't because of any of those kind of reasons. It was just I had noticed like the collar would start chafing her neck, and like she would start having like spots where like the fur was missing and like it was rubbing in and everything. And I did that. I don't know. She's what, like 9, so I think I did it like 7 years ago. And
yeah, well, he's almost 2.
Well,
like he'll be 2 in January, so he's not like that. That'll be about the same time. Like, yeah. So look at that smile. Look at that smile.
Oh yeah, my pet.
What's up, Bill?
My pet always looks like she's smiling.
So is Coda. I think it's because he always is. He's just living his best life, I swear. He just like loves. You love your life or what?
Yeah, I like to tell the dog that all the time too. Like, you don't know how good you got it, lady. Like, other dogs aren't allowed on the couch. That's why I tell her like every morning when we wake up. Like, you have no idea, dog. Like, most people or most dogs are not allowed to be, sleeping on somebody's bed, like let alone on their pillow.
No.
Yep, there she is.
No, he's not allowed in our room. Just look at it. He's not allowed in our room just because he chews everything. Like when we're sleeping, like he chews. Like the last time he chewed up my headphones, chewed up my charger, chewed up some of my shirts, chewed up some of my shoes, and he also peed on the carpet. So he cannot be like. So he just comes down here and chases the cats all night. Yeah, look at him. He's like, yeah, I chase the cats all the time.
I like to chase the cats.
Nope, Cody.
What are you doing, Coda? Coda.
You guys say, Cody.
Like you said, Cody, and my dog's looking at me like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Like,
Ugh, now I got all your hair on my face. That's perfect. Is it because it's hot in here or what?
90, would you say 92.3 or something like that?
92.84, yeah. Yeah, look at him, he's panting. All right, I'm gonna kick you out there. Don't forget your toy. I always hate doing that because I always thinks I'm coming with him. And he's just gonna sleep. He's just gonna sit right outside the door there.
Yeah, that's what my dog would do too.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, you're going out?" And then I just close the door, and like you just see the look in his face, being like, "Oh my god, that like tortures me."
Oh yeah, my dog does the same thing. Like I'll be like, I gotta go to the grocery store, which is I'm always there. But I'll like walk out the front door, and like before I can even lock the front door, I can already see her in the window, just sitting there staring out the window, like, "Where are you going? Like, when are you gonna be back? You gonna be here, right? Come on."
Yeah. Yes, Schuller, it's 93 in this room right now. It's 33.8 degrees Celsius. It's hot. I've like been sweating all night.
I do not think that I would be able to take that after
Your heat stroke.
Yeah, after that heat stroke.
The AC like doesn't really come in here, and the windows like stuck open, right? So, yeah, ew. Tell me about it. It's fucking disgusting.
Well, I have my AC set to like 75, which I've been fluctuating because I'll get really cold.
Well, our AC is good in like the living room, but when it comes to here, like any other room, like the bathroom is fine, but like in here it's so hot, and upstairs in our room is even hotter, and it's humid too. Like you just can't sleep. And for me, I need a blanket on me to sleep. It's like a security thing. I don't know, but yeah, it's ugh. Like Josh has been sleeping on the couch just because it's like way too hot upstairs.
Yeah,
thankfully it's been cooler at night, so we can leave the windows open. But like those freaking people, like those goddamn whatever with their stupid loud cars go by, and it's like right beside our window. Ugh. It's like the worst.
Yeah, ever since I got heat stroke, like the weird thing is like I have hot and cold flashes. Like it'll be 1 minute and I'm like, oh my God, I'm roasting. Like I should turn down the AC. And before I can even like get up to turn down the AC, I'm like, oh my God, I'm freezing. And it's been like off and on.
Yeah, because you're like sweating, and then your body is like, and then you're like, oh God, it's like getting like the cold sweats. Yeah, I might need some duct sealing. Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know why the AC doesn't work upstairs. Like it really just does not. We have an overhead fan, but it does not work like at all.
Yeah, and also hot air rises, so all the heat upstairs. So you pretty much probably have to close most of the vents downstairs or flutter them most of the way off and open all the ones upstairs.
Well, it's nice. It's nice. Like I actually put the cats just all in the bathroom. Like it's nice and cool in there, and like Todd loves it in there anyways. So that at least like, cause Josh's kids' room is right across from ours upstairs. So we'd open both the windows and keep both doors open, and you'd get that cross breeze with the fans as well. So it was like super nice. But if the cats aren't in there, like we can't. They go in there, like they shit all over the place and piss in the clothes, because and I'm actually considering giving away a couple of my cats because I can't. Some of them are just like,
yeah. Well, it wouldn't work with a cat, but with my dog,
but he won't. No, he won't go up there because he stays around me. Like he'll stay away like 2 feet from me at all times. So.
I keep her with me, so but it does work that I'll put my laundry basket, I'll put it in the door, and then I got a bungee cord around the handle, and I'll actually like hook it to the thing, and and that way the door actually is open. That way we get the AC moving through the entire house. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of stupid. I don't really know why I even do it, because the AC is like right above my room. So my room and the guest room get the best AC out of everything. And my room has a bathroom too. So like it's getting AC in the bathroom and my room. But then all the other doors in the house are closed. Just because, like, I don't want my dog in the hall bathroom. I don't want my dog in the spare bedroom. I don't want my dog in my parents' bedroom. So
yeah. Shower, yeah, no. Todd and Salem are fixed, but Tiki is the one, she's not fixed, and she's the one who like shits and pisses everywhere. And he says, well, actually, he goes from areas of high pressure to low pressure. Well, our bedroom is right above here, and these two are the only hot ass rooms in the house. Even Taven's room is across the hallway here, which would be above the kitchen, and his room is not even as hot as ours is. And we're the ones with the overhead fan. He doesn't have that in his room. So it's like, it's like torture. I mean, it's hotter than this, and it's 94 degrees, or it's 92 degrees in here. And it's humid. It's like 75. Oh, hold on. Let me just check here. What the humidity
What's up, Abab?
The humidity is 58% in here. So it is like if you're out on a hot sunny day, that's basically how hot as hell it is in here. And but okay, hold on. If I was there, I could give you an energy audit. Okay, I'm almost wondering if that's like something we should look into, because our hydro bill and our electricity, like, so that would be like all our air conditioning, our lights, and obviously electricity. Because we're paying like $900 a month right now, and I feel like that's not right. What's up, Abab Razami? Yeah.
He's in Brunei.
What?
He's in Brunei.
Where's that?
I'd have to look exactly, but haven't you ever heard of like the Sultan of Brunei?
No.
I did, but I was like,
unfixed cat license center. Yeah, I know. They do, and that's why I'm almost like, because it's, oh yeah, no, I remember him actually saying Brunei, but yeah, no, she is just such a little bitch though, and I'm wondering if I should just give her up, because we've got 4 cats already, and she is literally like the worst cat you can imagine. And I mean, she is cute as hell, but she's just like the worst cat you can ever imagine. Yeah, okay, exactly. I'm gonna have to make sure that I tell Josh about that tomorrow, that to get an energy audit. Like, what is it? Does that cost much? Because like we don't really have much. I mean, we're basically struggling to live as it is, because we keep getting raped by water. Like, we owe like $350 for water a month. We owe $900 for hydro a month. It literally is getting outstanding. Like, he hasn't even paid his child support in like months. Yeah. No, I'm telling you, like, it's bad. And if you don't mow your lawn now, they can charge you, and they can fine you like $300 if you don't mow your lawn. If your lawn is higher than 6 inches, they'll just tack it onto your property tax, so you won't be able to fight it. It's a cash grab. Oh, and also we have to mow the city's lawn too, because they're too goddamn lazy to do it. Power company, well, Manitoba. You don't know Manitoba Hydro. Okay, I'm gonna make an alarm to remind me to talk to him about an energy audit then.
Yeah, and if you got to pay for an energy audit, that's not. I mean, that'll give you some clues, but you still have to actually do something to fix, the problem.
Well, yeah, we own the house, so we'd obviously have to do that. That would be ours. Yeah, That's about, yeah, lawn fine here. Yeah, ours is about $250 to $300. I saw, but they tack it onto your property tax. So, Rob, so you don't know until it's time to pay your like mortgage, like, so you can't fight it right away. But I live right on the corner of a street, and in front of my house is it's a railway actually, and it's a whole field, and this way is a field, and that's all city property. And they let their grass grow about 20 inches. You literally can't even walk your dog on their property. But they expect us, like, if we ever have that happen, I've got photos of how much they let their grass grow so they can go fuck themselves. Oh, and we have to, like, just being on the corner, like, just so, like, there's a sidewalk here and a sidewalk here, and then beyond the sidewalk is like a whole boulevard. We have to cut that. So, which means we have to throw all the litter, the garbage that people throw out of their cars. We have to do that all ourselves, and then we have to cut their grass for them. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. And oh my god, yeah, it's just gonna piss me off. Yeah.
And I found it. It's Brunei is like southwest of the Philippines, east or west of Indonesia, to the east of Singapore. So
like near Vietnam, kind of, or
just south of Vietnam on like this giant island.
Okay. Oh, cool.
But it's like a little tiny little country.
Oh wow! I didn't even know they had an island south of Vietnam, like just south.
Yeah, it's just north of Australia. Well, I guess north.
Yeah, Rob. Okay, I guess like that would be worse than us having to just mow it ourselves. But yeah, no, the city does nothing up here. I mean, they made an underpass that they've been working on for about 10, well, maybe not 10 years, probably about 6 or 7 years now, and it's like right under a railway, and they are doing the whole thing of asphalt, which is not good in this kind of climate because they're going to have to redo it in 5 years anyways, and it costed taxpayers I would even venture to say almost $1 billion. I mean, they've been working on it for so long, and they should have done it in cement the right way, because we go from minus 50 to plus 50 in the summer. Like, how can you have it expanding and contracting like that? And it just, God, I hate the city. I literally hate the city. I hate this city with like the strongest passion.
And you got an underground. Lots of sharpened elbows down there.
Yeah, I was gonna say lots of sharpened elbows. Yeah. Of about over 350,000 people. Okay, so we are basically just over double what you have it there here in Winnipeg. Yeah, I hear that, Will. Like, honestly, we're getting out of the city as soon as we can. We've already got a plan. In 3 years' time, our mortgage is up, and in that time, we're both going to be saving money. We've got a safe. I'm going to be bartending and serving, so every single one of my tips is going to go in there. And I mean, the sky's the limit. Basically, I can make like $6,000 a month just in tips. So that'll all be going in there for the next 3 years, and then afterwards, we're going to put a down payment on a country house on the lake, like preferably in Kenora, and that'll be where we live. And we want to live like completely off the grid. Off the grid is what I want to do with it. We'll get we'll have electricity and running water, but we'll also have a water pump so that like just for washing dishes and stuff, we'll get that from the lake. We've got it all. Yeah, you're still trying to come. I know. And you know what? It's so funny too. They can fine you for your fence being an oddball color. So if you paint, let's say you're like crazy whatever, and you paint one fence post hot pink, they can fine you for that. They can fine you over $300 for painting your house. And if you make your house look better, your property tax goes up. And I know that's everywhere. So I own it. Why the fuck? Why? It should be a fixed rate. It shouldn't be a floating, God damn it, I hate this. I hate the government. I hate it like so much. I can't wait to live away from here. Even though the government will still rule, I understand that. But when you're as off-grid as you can be, like all your energy is solar powered and composting toilets, like hunting your food or going to the actual butcher that's out there,
That's that North End for you. A golden boy watching the North End die.
And it's so funny. Like per year, the school taxes that we pay is $1,900. We don't have a child that goes to the school district. In the poorest areas, you pay the most because people can't afford to put their kids through school. I'm sorry. Was I in the bed with you when you fucked and had the child? No. Why do I have to pay for your child to go to school? Why?
Because that's part of that, like, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Socialist type thing. Everybody pays. That way you don't have to pay a ton if you do have a kid. It's the same with, like,
hey, listen, if you want to have a child, go right ahead. But be prepared for the expenses.
Well, it's the same as like
the expenses that, you know what, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay? And people don't seem to understand that.
Well, it's the same as like
can't afford to send your child to school. Don't have a fucking child. I'm sorry. We don't have to suffer and live under the bridge because your kid has to go get a half-assed education who probably shows up for 30% of the classes anyways.
Well, it's the same as like fire and EMS. I've never used any of those services my entire life, but yet they get.
Well, I pay into EI and I'm unemployed, got fired from my last job, and they won't even give me my EI. Because a job that I had for a week, I quit because it was making me work 16-hour days with only 4 hours of sleep in between. And they were like, oh, yes, no, so like the job that you had for a year and a half, you got fired from because you made up a sexual harassment case on the dude. But this job that you had for a week, no, doesn't matter. You still voluntarily left that place. Fuck you. Even though I've been paying into EI for 15 years. That's fucking.
I told you how I got.
I used to be a place where I was like proud to be, like I was happy to be Canadian. I was like, thank God, I'm Canadian. I was like born perfectly, and now I'm like, you know what? I don't even like it anymore.
Yeah, I told you how I got screwed over on unemployment.
Even though all the politicians are basically on welfare, they don't do fuck all, but they get paid. They work 4 years of their life and 2 days a week, and then they get a whole pension plan for the rest of their fucking lives. Those fucking idiots. I swear to God, man. Go fuck. You know what? If Justin Trudeau is watching this, fuck you. I swear to God.
Maybe you should run for office.
Everybody in the middle class, which is now the lower class, would be relieved if I ran for office and won. Yes, they would be. Anyways, that's my rant. I'm sorry. I totally took that over. I'm sorry. Just one last thing. I am just very opinionated on it.
And another thing.
But it affects me too, because guess what? Canada is taking like veterans pensions out of Veterans Affairs to go overseas and help them. My grandfather normally gives us all his grandkids, so he's only got 4 checks for Christmas. But he couldn't do that this year Because there was a problem with the bank. And guess who that was? That was Justin Trudeau. Sending it overseas to send terrorists over here so they can become Canadian citizens. And he fought for our country. I mean, I'm not just saying Canada. I'm saying America. When he was in the Second World War, he was in Italy when he lost his leg. When he was 21. And now nothing. Now he's got nothing. So, whatever. Take it as you will. I don't agree with that at all.
If it makes you, well, it's not going to make you feel any better, but that's a stupid saying that people say. If it makes you feel better, but no, my grandfather got the same treatment. He was in Korea, and he was a vet, and he had the VA, and the VA just screwed him over and gave him like really crappy service, and then they ended up having.
That wasn't Veterans Affairs though that I'm talking about. This was federal, like Canada, who had taken the money out of Veterans Affairs, and all the people that donated to Veterans Affairs. Yeah, you think your money is going to them? No, it's not. It went overseas to help foreign relations, but it really went to pay off terrorists. Omar Khadr, look him up. He killed, on a live video, he killed 3 Canadians. He shot them in the head. And what did Justin Trudeau do? He brought him here, and he made him a Canadian citizen, and he paid him $10.5 million as a settlement. And then you have people in the First Nations here who can't even get a good dentist. And he spent $600,000, Trudeau, I'm saying, spent $600,000 as legal fees to make sure that she got no money out of the lawsuit. And she's a Canadian citizen. It's fucking, you know what? It's so fucking stupid, man. The only reason they brought taxes on in the first place was to fund the war, not World War II, not World War I, possibly like way back in the 1800s. The only reason they made taxes was to fund the wars. And they were supposed to completely get rid of it after the wars. But the government goes, oh yeah, we're making money now. Why the fuck not? And then it just keeps getting higher and higher and higher. And now our class, if you think you're the middle class, no, you're going to be in like the below poverty lines right away. That's what we have. Like our hydro gets shut off, which is our electricity. Our water gets shut off. They don't give a fuck. You think they care? No. Child support is a fucking joke. You know, all the taxes they put on like food, like for people to eat healthy. People who know how to cook, they buy healthy food. Oh my God, no, I'd rather get a 30-pack of Pizza Pops than like some asparagus, which is $23.99 a kilogram, just an hour away from me. $24 a kilogram for a little bundle of asparagus. Are you fucking nuts? But for tater tots, it's like $1 a bag. Here you go. Fuck. Fried food. Let's throw it in your face, and then you'll get diabetes, and then we'll make money on that too. Sorry, it really, really gets to me.
Oh yeah, well, it's dumb. Just like you said. Like, why do you get penalized for trying to be better? You know? I mean, that almost sounds like a conspiracy right there all on its own.
Like, I was born human. Why should I be penalized for that? We're a fucking slave race. You know what I mean? And the people that go to work every single day and come home and don't spend any time with their children and they only work for a living and then they die. What do you have to say for your life? Your money in your bank account certainly doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter, like literally, because there's probably nothing there and you're probably in debt thousands and millions and, of dollars. Is that why we were evolved into? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Wake up. I mean, don't you guys want to spend time with your families? Like real legit time? Like go on a fucking vacation for a week without your boss getting upset about it and having to worry about financials after you come home? Like, come on. Like, we can't all fight a united front if we're not all woke. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what they want us to think. You think about all the brainwashing that's gone on since we were all kids. It doesn't, none of that fucking matters. Our coffins are all going to be the same size. And that goes for politicians too. The ones making all the money. That extra little bit of tax, our taxes on everything right now is 13%. On every single thing we buy. 13%. And that's not even including the 33% that we get taxed off of our paychecks.
Yeah, and then you look at, what was it, like $62 for a 30-pack of beer and $54 for a case of beer and
$13 for a little tiny case of tampons that women need just because of our biology. How about toilet paper?
What is it?
It's like $8 a pack here. Not even for like a 24-pack. For like a 12-pack, it's like $8.
Yeah, mine's like $1.69 for a 4-pack or something like that. I don't know how much it is more than that because I live by myself, so I'm just like, that's all I need. Get a 4-pack, and when I run out, I'll get more.
I've gotten a 4-pack since I lived alone.
I know my mom will go out and like buy like the 30-pack or like I don't know 72-pack or whatever the hell the biggest pack that you can get.
But like even then though, that shit should be fucking free. I mean, everybody shits, everybody pisses. Like how just because we're made up like that now we have to pay for that?
Well, someone's got to make it. So you should have
government for it, but use taxpayers' dollars to do that because we're paying enough as it is. I'm literally at the point where I'm just going to go raid a bunch of truck stops and get all their toilet paper. It's not going to be 2-ply. It's on the asshole, but whatever.
This guy that I worked with, he yeah, he liked
supply and demand. Okay, but there's always going to be a demand for toilet paper. So they're like, oh yeah, so why don't we start putting a price on goddamn toilet? Why don't we put a price on water?
I do that. I just had to pay like $100.
Why do we have to pay for water? I mean, for us Canadians especially, we get the best water in the goddamn world. Why do we have to pay for it? Oil. We get that shit out of the ground. We send it to you guys to get refined, and then we buy it back at a more expensive price.
We make enough oil, we pull out enough oil to keep our entire country running, and yet we export 98% of all that.
Here's another one for you. The churches. If you taxed the church everybody in this whole world would only have to pay 3% tax on anything. Their paychecks, their consumption of goods, everything. So why aren't the churches taxed? Because they made up some man in the sky that tells you what to do every single day because you're afraid of dying and want to know what it's like after death? No. Tax the goddamn churches. I don't understand for the goddamn life of me why they don't tax they tax people who live off grid, but they don't tax the churches. And they make the most money. I mean, you see goddamn priests with Lamborghinis.
That's because they paid off the politicians. People like you and me, we can't pay off the politicians, so we'll never.
We do pay the politicians every day, every paycheck.
Well, yeah, but not like in their minds.
Oh, okay, let me say 11% of our gas tax here is supposed to go towards fixing the roads. And I can tell you, our roads look like they were made like 8,000 years ago.
I've been there.
You run down the roads and it's like bump, 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 bump. And like so many cars get destroyed. It's like axles break, your frame gets bent, everything is just fucking your wheel bearings, everything.
Well, actually, I was gonna be like, well, I've been there. Like, I know what you're talking about. But at the same time, like, we were in a vehicle
down here,
but the vehicle we were in didn't even have brakes. Like, every time you like hit the brakes, all you'd hear is grinding.
I know. Every time I was like, oh my god, we're gonna die.
I know. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, obviously, he's okay. Like, he knows what he's doing. But no, it goes back to like the plane thing. Like, I was just like, he's got it. But it was so funny. Every time we would come to a red light, like the people around us looking at us, was so funny. Yeah, they were like, what the hell was that, man? Like,
I'm thankful that I was sitting in the back seat with like the tinted windows, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm fine.
Oh, I was up front, and I'm like, whatever. I'm American. What's up, everybody?
Whatever. The whole system is completely corrupt, and God.
I was like, I was up front going, I'm American. I'm not even supposed to be here. Oh, that was so funny. Because you were like, oh, wow. I wish I could remember what. It's in my phone, but I don't want to look. Would you say like we're out front? We're in the. Would you say like beat up Avalanche or the not Avalanche?
Escalade.
Yeah, an Escalade. No, like the what'd you call it though? It was like the worst Escalade or like the let me look.
Aztec?
No, I can't.
Yeah, if you're in Detroit, Pedro, I've been through Detroit and I've been all around Detroit, and your roads are nowhere as near as bad as ours are. I can tell you that like 100%. Like cops pull you over just because they think you're drunk, but then you literally are just trying to get around the potholes. And there's this one massive pothole, probably like I'm literally not exaggerating. It was probably about this big, and it was about 1.5 feet deep, and it was on a major roadway. They didn't fix it for 2 years. For 2 years, I was coming home from university, and my little Ford Focus got stuck in that, and then that one had to be fixed. It was almost a write-off. And then my sister, 2 years later, got caught in the same pothole. It literally is like ridiculous here, because especially since we, like, I know your weather is probably about the same as ours. Oh no, it's not, because you're near Toronto, but ours is like, we're like minus 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, which, what is that in Fahrenheit, for 8 months of the year. And then we go to like plus 40 degrees Celsius.
Your actual quote was, I wrote, I'm outside the terminal in the smoking section, 1, 2, and 3. Where are you? And you said, where are you? We're at pole 9 in the dirty Escalade. And then I got there, and you're like, oh, by the way, this vehicle doesn't have brakes. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, that was so funny. I can't even remember if I put my seatbelt on. I'm pretty sure I was just like, screw it, whatever. Que sera, sera. Like, whatever.
Yeah, minus 50 degrees Celsius is minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's how it is for 8 months of the year here. And then on the flip side, it's like it's like in the 80s and 90s all summer. So our roads are shrinking, constantly shrinking, expanding, contracting, expanding. Yeah, shut up.
And somehow I missed both extremes. Like I was just there, and it was.
We were like in like the very cusp when it started to get warm, and it like snowed a little bit, but then it was like hot the next day. Like, and then when we were walking downtown, you were like, oh my God, I could totally like live with this. Like, this is fine. I remember you exactly saying that.
Oh yeah, because it was nothing. I was like, man, this is like our winter. Meanwhile, it was springtime. Almost summer. And it snowed. But no, it wasn't bad at all. All right, Will, take it easy. But yeah, that wasn't bad at all while I was there. I was actually kind of disappointed. I expected it to be like really, really cold. And it really wasn't that cold. Like it was so not cold that there's no way I could even complain about it. Like I wanted it to be like minus 60, like she was talking about like 2 months earlier when I was trying to be there. And like she's like, oh, here comes Coda. Coda found out the door wasn't latched. Oh, there goes Coda. But no, I wanted to be there when it was like minus 60. Like when her eyelashes were freezing while she was walking to 7-Eleven and stuff like that. And then I ended up going there and it wasn't bad at all. It was like 40, 50 degrees the entire time I was there. Like that's not that cold. Well, maybe it was 50 degrees the whole time I was there. But the one day it did snow, but I wasn't outside that day. Like I was sitting inside my hotel room going, look out the window. It's snowing. Like, that's weird. I haven't seen snow in years. And it wasn't even like a heavy snow. It was just like a light, very, very light flurry. It didn't even accumulate on the ground. It was just, you could see it in the air. And once it hit the ground, it was gone. And that was only 1 out of the 8 days that I was there. But no, I did want that. I really did want it to be like that while I was there. I mean, you're going to Canada. Like, I live in the South. Like, I want that extreme. I want it to be like crazy, like, what the hell is wrong with this? But it really wasn't. It was like 50 degrees the whole time I was there. It was nice.
See, I would have loved it if you had come and it was like minus like 50 something.
That's what I was saying.
I guarantee you wouldn't have even ventured outside to get beer. You would have been like, we're going to have to figure out this delivery system.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like, I kind of like that because that's not where I'm from. Like, that doesn't happen here. Like, we don't even get like.
Okay, fine. Come at the end of January then, because that's like the coldest it will get. Like the
I got a passport.
Is like the coldest that you can even imagine.
Well, I mean, I got this book now, so I can actually do that. But no, that I don't know. I was kind of complaining about that because I actually wanted that to happen while I was
weird.
there.
I can't. I for the life of me, I can't remember someone complaining about. Oh my God! I can't believe I wasn't there when it was that cold.
Well, I know
because you've never experienced that. Like even in Pittsburgh, like it's not. Trust me, it's not that cold.
No, nowhere near. But no, that's why I wanted to do it. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, I went to Colorado in September and it was snowing, and I was like, "What the heck? Like, we still have 100-degree days going on, and it's snowing here." But you're in the Rocky Mountains; it's a completely different area. But I love, that's the kind of vacation I like, is going to a place that is nothing like where I'm from. Like, I went to Jamaica, and when I went to Jamaica, I got a sunburn like crazy at 80 degrees. It was only 80 degrees out, and I got burnt like no sunburn I've ever had. But that's what I like. That's one of the things I like about, going all the way there, is it's completely nothing like what I'm used to. I was just saying, like, I went to Colorado and it was snowing in September. And, I went to Jamaica in April 1st. It was April Fool's Day when I was in Jamaica, and I got a sunburn, like the worst sunburn I've ever got. And it was only 80 degrees. Like, I love.
That's how it was for me in Dominican too. Like, I never burned, like, ever. And I'm like, nah, I don't need a base tan. Like, I'll just go. And I went outside with no sunscreen just the first day. And I was like, I've told you about this a million times. It was like just red from head to toe. My lips were like out to here, like just so burned. And I was so embarrassed the next day. And I'm like, I can't go out like this.
I was so burnt that
my mom was like, okay, the sun is different down here. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Like, Mom, just shut up. Like, And yeah, no, turns out she was, as she always is, right.
Oh yeah. No, like, I had everybody like, you should put on sunscreen. I heard that like 1,000 times that day, and I was like, there's no way I'm putting sunscreen on. Like, I haven't put on sunscreen since I was made to, when I was like a teenager. I am not putting on sunscreen. And then next thing you know, boom, burnt.
I do put on sunscreen, like, now, like, if, like, sometimes if I'm just like outside tanning, like, I'll put on a little bit of baby oil, but then on top of that, I'll put on like a little bit of sunscreen, like SPF like 7 or something. But yeah,
I have not used sunscreen, like, literally since my mom made me put on sunscreen when I was like probably 13 or something like that. But I mean, I'm probably gonna have to. Well, I say I'm probably gonna have to do that now, but I'm not going to. But I don't know. Like, I've had heat stroke before, like, so many times, and this time, like literally messed me up. Like, I have not been right, and it's been 2.5 weeks now.
It wouldn't matter if you had sunscreen on or not if you got heat stroke.
Yeah. I mean, it was just that hot. I mean, it was 104, like, and
I was out in the sun in Arizona when it was like 116. That wasn't even bad. I actually, like, I loved that. I was like, oh yes, like, take me.
Yeah, but that's also but that's a dry heat. Like, here.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is a dry heat. Yeah, there's like no humidity at all down there.
Yeah, this is like very, like, I got water all around me, so it's like a very, very humid heat. And like, it was to the point where I couldn't breathe. Like, I smoke like a damn chimney. And the entire day, the entire 2 days, I think I smoked 5 cigarettes the entire day. And like, a lot of it was like taking a few hits, knock the cherry off, put it back in the pack. Like, take a couple hits, knock the cherry off, put it back in the pack. Or no, actually, it was probably like 3 cigarettes. And like, normally I'll smoke like a pack in that time, but I barely smoked anything. But no, and I couldn't catch my breath, and that's why I quit smoking. I was just like, fuck this, man. Like, I can't even breathe. Like, and I was like,
man, drives oxygen to your brain, right? Like, when you're.
Yeah, probably. But I was like, oh, maybe a cigarette will help. And I take a couple hits and be like, okay.
That's why you get so tired, like, if you're smoking cigarettes, like, and you're like, ugh, like, fuck, I'm so tired. It's so hot in here, and I just made myself tea. Although I think that will cool me off, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when it's hot, you want to drink hot things. When it's cold, you want to drink cold things.
But
well, that was another downfall.
Now it's like coming right at me, and I'm like, whoa, shit.
Well, that was another downfall I had because I had like I like to take 32-ounce Powerade bottles like this, and I'll fill them up with water and then put them in the
And
freezer.
freeze them, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll take them to work that way, and then that way when they thaw out, I can drink the water as they're like ice cold. And that's what I did when I got heat stroke. I was just like, oh, I need a bunch of water, and I kept drinking the like really cold water, and I'm pretty sure that did not help me whatsoever.
I don't know how, like, I'm just like completely off topic, but he just squeaked his toy like just like 15, 20 minutes ago. Did you hear that? But now the squeaker is gone, so I'm almost wondering if he ate it. Oh god, the next time he barks, it's gonna be like squeak, squeak, squeak.
Or fart.
Beep that out, and it's gonna squeak on the way out.
Nice. Pager says I needed some Brondo.
The hell is Brondo?
It's got electrolytes. It's what plants crave. Didn't you ever see Idiocracy?
Yeah, I seen. Oh my god. That's
oh, do you even know what electrolytes are? It's what plants crave.
I love the end when it's like when that dude is like the camera falls and it's like on the plants and it's like, oh my god, I think this is what we were sent out here for. With
yeah.
Luke Wilson, right?
That entire movie was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell was her name? Rita, the hooker. He like ends up married.
Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was awesome in there.
Are you gonna stay here?
That's why I'm always like when I'm playing Odyssey, I'm always like, I gotta go to the blacksmith. You know, that way I can upgrade some stuff. Like that's where I got that from, was because she was like trying to find her pimp and she went to the phone and she's like,
oh yeah,
the name that you want. She's like, upgrade. And they were like, there are 5,975 listings for upgrade. Like they just totally made her sound like an idiot. I love that. That is a great movie, man.
Yeah, it is actually. I've only seen it like once or twice. Well, actually, once.
I don't know where it is, but I have that somewhere.
I have it. I also have it.
Oh, it's such a good movie, man.
Oh,
I love that,
when
man.
They have like because like when they get like branded with their little barcodes on their wrist.
Tattoo. You ain't got no tattoo.
I don't want it. Like that's totally what it's going to be like in the next like little bit, but just with a microchip, right?
Oh yeah, like please state your name as stated on form whatever it was, like 24618B, and he's like, I'm not sure. Like you said, your name is not sure. Please confirm. And he's like, no, it's not.
Oh,
yes, you've confirmed your first name is not. I love that. And he's like trying to pull his arm out as he's getting a tattoo, so his whole picture is like.
Yeah. And they're in like a Costco, like, and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go try and find like this, like the whatever it was that he was trying to find.
Oh yeah, the time machine.
The old department store.
Yeah, he was trying to get to the time machine. He's
like, the time machine, that's what it was.
You like you've been what did he say? Not like you've been to Costco, but like something about Costco. Like, yeah, of course. That's where I got my law degree. Like, yeah, welcome to Costco.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to Costco.
Here it is, the little squeaky thing. Found it.
At least you didn't eat it.
Doesn't squeak anymore. No, you're not getting this. Come on, go away. You've got look good. You're killing it already.
Oh, I don't have. Or wait, no, is this it? Yeah, I don't have any good banners, but I do have this one.
Come on.
I forgot. I gotta like come up with like better banners than that. That's hilarious.
Holy shit.
I can
Want some eggs? Damn.
That's what's so great about StreamYards, man. Yeah, here we go. Here's Pedro. You need some product. Here's Rob.
Oh my god.
I love that I can do this. This is so much fun. Where the hell is he at? Yeah, here's Bab. Population of over 350,000 people. There's Rob Z. Oh, that's great. Look, I can take our names away.
Yeah,
I can put them back up.
just take our names away.
Nah.
Yeah, I've got the lemon tea and the green tea mix going all out.
I've been like kind of addicted to.
You what?
I've been kind of addicted to that Lipton green tea. It's like
I got Lipton green tea and Lipton yellow tea.
Well, no, not that stuff. The stuff that comes like already pre-made and everything.
It already is. It's in bags. Look at.
No. Mine comes in like a big, like, gallon container.
Oh, so you have to actually put it in your own little tea thing yourself, or what?
Well, you just refrigerate it and then you just pour it in a glass and drink it.
Oh no! See, we have an actual like tea. I don't remember tea. Oh, majorly. No, I'm just kidding. But I like to put like herbs and stuff. Like I'll put like rosemary, especially, and like a little bit of basil in there. I'll just cut it up and put it into the little tea thing, and then dip it in. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do that next, actually.
Have you heard? I've seen this so many times, and it just fascinates me that people jump onto it that quick, and they're like, "Yeah, that's definitely a thing." Where anybody that's like does the OK symbol, it like is like the 3 fingers up are supposed to stand for white, and then like this circle is supposed to be like power. Like, and they actually claim that that's a racist thing to do, like doing the OK symbol.
Never even heard of that, and I'm
oh my god
from Canada, so I would have heard about it. No.
Oh yeah, it's been all over the news for the
They're
last.
gonna say like
years.
whatever they can. Every single person pulls the race card. Honestly, I mean, people who aren't white pull the race card against white people, no matter what. Like, and I'm sorry for those of you if you're listening and you're not white and that's what you do. You shouldn't, because we don't hate you. There are people who are white who are racist. Okay, Pedro, you're obviously not a Donald Trump supporter. We're not going to get into that because I am actually, and but I'm not a racist. If you're an asshole, I hate you. No matter what your skin color is. If you're white and you're an asshole, I fucking hate you. I'm not gonna congregate one race together and be like, okay, just because this one's an asshole, I hate all of you. No.
Yeah, I've never like hated a group of people, but I can tell you that I've hated more white people than any other color out there. Because I've been around more white people, and there's a lot of them that are assholes. And I mean,
but I've also met Asians that I hate. I've met Asians that I love. I've met like Middle Eastern people that I hate. I've also met Middle Eastern people that I love. I've met hardly any black people that I hate, but most of them I love.
I've met, probably a majority of all the black people I've met, I've loved, because they're fucking hilarious.
They are honestly like probably the greatest race.
Like they're like one of the realest. Yeah, they're like one of the realest people you'll ever meet.
And they are hard workers. Like they are hard workers. And did you know that actually, so like if you're gonna find a black person that claims the slavery card, let's just go there for like 2 seconds. White people were actually slaves long after black people were slaves. So let that little bit of information into your head to ignore.
Yeah, but every race has been a slave to another race,
exactly.
Or anything. except maybe the Jews, because that's only in the Bible. Like, that's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. Like it's not in like any Egypt.
It's made up.
Well, it's not like it's in any Egypt records or anything like that. It's only in the Bible. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying that that's the only place you find it is in the Bible, which is weird to me. I mean, I'm sure they probably were slaves somewhere else too, but...
And, okay, let's go back to Donald Trump for a second. He's the same way. He doesn't hate, like, the brown people or whatever. He hates the actual person itself. Like those two chicks or whatever that were, like, saying hate speeches about America. The only reason he was like, fuck you guys, go back to your own country, is because they were assholes. Like, if somebody said that shit about Canada, I would say the same thing. White, brown, purple, black, whatever. If you're saying fuck Canada, I hate you, and you're living in Canada, and you're an immigrant, go the fuck back to your country then. If you hate this country that you're living in so much, go back. Like, why is that such a hated, like, every single person is so quick to pull the race card.
Yeah. And shit, what was I gonna say? Like, no. You said,
if I moved to Africa and was like, I hate this country. Like, if I moved to Zambia, let's say, I hate this country. You guys are all fucking retarded. Don't you think they would have a right to be like, go back to Canada then, if you don't like it?
Yeah.
Without me being like, that's racist towards white people. Like, really, that makes sense. If you talk it out slowly, that makes sense.
Oh, and you said 2 chicks, but it was 4. It was like AOC. It was like that Ilhan Omar.
Go fuck herself, because she's obviously a lost cause.
Something. I can't remember the other 2 people because they're not even important enough to remember.
That's what I said. 2 people. Okay, so you corrected me. It's 4 people. Whatever then. And if they're saying hate speech, and he's the president of the United States, don't you think he has a right to say what he did?
Yeah, and they say he's
every single person is like, oh my God. Okay, he already hates illegal immigrants. He's already deporting people because they crossed the country borderline illegally, and now he's wants some other girls to go back to their own country because freedom of speech. No, that's not how it works. I'm sorry. If Obama said that, nobody would have blinked an eye.
Well, they would have, but it wouldn't have got any traction.
Well, there you go. And now we're on the other end. We're helping everybody overseas. That's where all our tax money is going, and we don't see it. They're stealing, oh my God, they're stealing hundreds of millions of dollars from taxpayers just to help. The Caribbean now is like the next place we're going. God. Our grandchildren are going to be paying for that forever. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I understand. Hey, I'm all for it. If they need help, but if every single person in Canada was like able to, we all would help. But we're not. We're all getting further into debt. There's more bankruptcy in the last 3 years than there has ever been in Canadian history. And that's all because of Trudeau, the Liberals.
But he's got nice socks.
They're fucking ugly.
I just love saying that to you.
Okay, go. If our veterans were all taken care of, if every single living, surviving veteran all had a home to go to, then I would have no problem with sending money overseas at all.
Yeah, that's something I've been bitching about lately too.
Your country, and you're gonna go help people who fought against your country? Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry.
Well, the way I look at it is I don't agree with a majority of any war that has taken place within the last couple decades.
Well, it doesn't make sense.
No,
Why?
but
It's all about religion and money. That's all it is. Those are the two factors about war: religion and money.
yeah. Well, no. What I was getting at was
lose their lives over it.
But what I was getting at was I don't agree with the wars like whatsoever for like probably the last couple 100 years, like 200 years, something like that. But at the same time, to deny the people that said I do and I will put my life on the line, and now you're like giving them like the crappiest healthcare, that is bull. Like no.
I don't think you quite understand where I'm going with this, Rev. Most of our okay, I don't want to sound like a proud white person or whatever, but let's just say this. Most of our white homeless people are veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And they're older. They're all living on the street. They're living on the street, begging for food, begging for smokes. You know what I mean? And nobody bats an eye. Not even our prime minister could be in Canada on goddamn Remembrance Day. But he's overseas making sure everything is kind of okay over there, which he's not going to fix everything. The couple $100 million, what do you think that is to them? Nothing. They're going to need a hell of a lot more for them to be sustainable. Let's just be honest. And when my grandfather is having problems at the bank and he lost his fucking leg when he was 21 years old in 1944 in Italy, serving this goddamn country, and now he's having problems at the bank because Trudeau and the Liberals are taking money out of his pension to go overseas, that is wrong. That's illegal. He should be in jail for treason. He doesn't care about Canada. Like, really, he's actually self-proclaimed a Canada hater other than Quebec because he thinks Quebec should be their own country, which, whatever, go ahead. We have a yearly reserve fund for all the provinces in Canada. And guess how much Quebec got?
Most of it.
$262 million. Guess how much Alberta got? None. Zero.
Sorry, Alex.
Guess how much Manitoba got? 13 million. Guess how much BC got? Like 7 million. But Quebec gets $262 million because that's where he's from? Something's not adding up. And also, when Justin Trudeau was speaking to Canada like a year and a half ago, he was naming all the provinces. Guess who he forgot?
Manitoba?
Alberta. Oh. He also called all the blue-collar workers rapists. He said every single blue-collar worker, like construction worker, oil rigger, roofer, whatever, anything if you're in a contract, position, he called them all sexual. Like he said, every single blue collar you work at or worker that you look at is a sexual what do you say? He said sexual predator. Every single one.
Wait, I'm looking right now. Nunavut is a province?
Nunavut's a territory.
Territory, I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea. I thought I knew all the provinces of Canada.
There's the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut.
Yeah, the northernmost. Why it's so big? Why do I not know that?
Canada's bigger than the States. We're the second largest country in the world.
Yeah, but that's like the biggest province in
That's where the
Canada.
Inukshuk came from.
That's crazy. I mean, I heard of Northwest Territories. I heard of Yukon, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario,
Quebec, yeah.
Newfoundland, and
Nova Scotia, PEI, Newfoundland and Labrador.
yeah, I've heard of all of them, but I never heard of none of it. That's
it's none of it. Sorry.
Weird. Yeah, like that's really weird. I mean, growing up, I mean, obviously I know all of the states. Like growing up,
I know all the states too. We had to learn all of that, like Americans and Canadians here.
Yeah, we didn't have to learn anything about Canada, but the state we had to learn every single.
Didn't even pay attention in American history for you guys either.
We had to learn every single state, like, and it started with like here's like 15 states, and we had to know how to spell the state and the capital, and how to spell the capital. And if you got any of them wrong, you fail. You got to start all over.
Albuquerque is a city. I know that, but
well, yeah, but
how do you spell that? Oh my God, ALBE, Alba, CUERCUE.
No, ALBUQUERQUE.
QUE. Okay, so it's Albuquerque, not Albuquerque.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to learn how to spell that.
Okay, without looking, spell the capital of Nunavut then.
I have no clue what the hell it is. I'd have to look. Like I'd have to look and then just like try.
I think it's IQ.
Wait, let me go up to
IQALUIT. I think. Iqaluit. IQALUIT.
IGLOOLIK. No.
No. It's.
What the hell is that? I don't even see. Where's the capital at?
Iqaluit, I believe that is. It could be Yukon, but I think it's none of it. Just look up IQALUIT.
Oh, wait, let me look into Yukon. No, Whitehorse. I've heard of that.
Yeah, Whitehorse, and then Yellowknife is Northwest Territories.
Yeah, isn't that on the Alcan?
No.
Whitehorse isn't on the Alcan?
Oh, Whitehorse. I thought you were talking about the capital of Nunavut.
Oh, no. I'm looking at Yukon to see if you named their capital. No, I don't even see. Why don't they have capitals highlighted in Canada? That's weird.
It's like, I remember this in school because it's one of the only words or places without a U after Q.
Oh, maybe it's over here. Oh, IQALUIT.
Yeah.
Why isn't it bold? Like it doesn't show up as the capital. It's like, just another city.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's like over on an island on the east side. Like pretty close to Greenland. That's weird.
I remember seeing a meme on Facebook where it was like, the most difficult part of being a Canadian was having to color all the provinces and territories, and you have all those islands up there, and it's like, oh my God, it's so hard to like, I remember that too, where you're like, fuck. And like, people are just like, fuck it, whatever.
That's so true. There's so many islands and stuff like that up there.
Yeah, there's like 30 something, yeah.
Yeah, the U.S. is pretty dang easy. Like I remember just freehand like drawing the United States and like drawing out each state, and it wasn't that hard. I mean, I could probably do that with Canada too, but the islands would totally screw with me.
But then you've got Alaska like over here, which is completely not even part of the States. I mean, like on a land map, yeah.
Yeah, and the part that like boggles my mind is we didn't even buy it from Canada. We bought it from Russia.
Well, there used to be, like, way back in the day, like when the dinosaurs still roamed the earth. When Pangea was there, that was like the Siberian Channel or whatever the hell they called it, and it was like where Alaska met with
Russia.
like Japan, yeah, with like Russia, like Japan was there and China obviously was under here, and then Russia. And I mean, I can't believe that people still don't believe that dinosaurs roam the earth because they're.
Yeah, I mean the distance between Wales, Alaska, and Yeren, Uelen, Russia.
What is it? Uelen?
Yeah, Uelen. But there's also like Diomede, Diomede, is like an island between the two. Like that really is not that far of a distance.
Yeah, I know.
Like they could actually make a bridge across there.
That's what they were planning on doing, actually. They wanted to, like, they were trying to get private funding to make a bridge between Alaska and there.
Yeah.
Like even from like for Canadians, like even for us to Reykjavik, like in Iceland, it's like a $400 round trip, and it's only a 4-hour flight from here to Iceland.
Shit, I paid way more than that just to go from Norfolk to Winnipeg.
I know.
I paid a lot of money to go to Winnipeg. Yeah. It's not even that far. Like I went from here to Chicago to Winnipeg.
But how long was your flight, like all together, like in the air, like from there to Chicago and then Chicago to here?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think it was what?
Because from here to Iceland is about a 4-hour flight.
Yeah, it was probably like 4 hours. It was 2,000 miles, but it was
it's
like
it's roughly the same going from here to Iceland.
Yeah, I think I was like
probably from where you are to Iceland would be like $1,000.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
But I think my flight was like 6:30 in the morning, and then I went to Chicago, like hour and a half layover, and I was there at like 1 or a little bit after 1, and then I had to go through immigration and stuff like that. But so I don't think it was that long. I mean, it's like 4-hour flight. I do remember the flight back took forever, but that's because I went from Winnipeg to Minneapolis, which is a short flight, and then I had to go from Minneapolis all the way back to Norfolk.
Here to Minneapolis is only about a 6-hour drive. So
yeah, no, it was a short flight there, and I remember being at the bar, kicking back some beers, and then like the whole flight from Minneapolis to Norfolk, I was like, just end already, like please, just touch down. I think I even said it in a couple one of my videos where I was coming back, because I literally was at that point where like I was just like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to be traveling anymore. I just want to be at my truck and let me drive home.
Yeah.
And then I knew like getting home, like my dog wasn't even going to be there.
Oh my God, that would be like the worst thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd wait like a day, like almost 24 hours for my dog to show up.
Look at, do you see his like little head? Like,
oh yeah,
he's getting up.
He's over there in the car. Oh, there he comes.
You're
no, that was the worst part of the trip, was getting home and like spending that first night. Like I was back home, but yet dog wasn't there. It was just
oh my God. Like, see, I like would love it. Like I would hate it if Coda was not here. Like anytime I got home from like being away for like a week.
Yeah, because I went to Canada, for some reason my phone stopped working when I got back to the States. So like I ended up having to call up my phone company, or I forget what I had to do. I had to do something to make my phone start working again. But I'm texting my mom like, "What time are you gonna get here with my dog?" And she wouldn't text me back. I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" And then like next thing I know, I'm like, I think I tried to call. Or no, yeah, I tried to call my mom. Like, well, where the hell are you? Where's my dog? Like, are you coming? And like the phone wouldn't work, and then I had to call the phone company, and like because the phone just stopped working. But that was like the worst part was getting all the way back home. Like phone worked fine in Canada. Like I got the highest phone bill I ever had when I went to Canada. It was only $25.
You want to go on live or what? Because I'm like burning up here. Like I am like sweating.
We can do that. We've been live for 3 hours and 10 minutes. That's what another thing I like about
stream. It shows you how long you've been on, yeah.
Yeah, it shows you right up top how long you've been on, how many viewers you got, and like it shows you all the comments on the side on when you're running it. Like it'll show you all the comments.
I can't see any of that. All I can see is live 310, 53, 54.
Yeah, and then I can also switch it. So like, where the hell's my damn cursor? So like, whoa, wrong button. There we go. Oh. Hey, look, it's Susie. Like, or it's just me, or it's both of us, but it's a really crappy picture. Look, we're widescreen. Susie's off to the right.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
I don't know what this button does. I don't know what this button does, or that one. But
holy shit, I'm tired.
No, we can hit the unlive button. So, all right, well, that's it. We're going on live. So thanks for hanging out and hanging with us and stuff like that. My very first StreamYards live stream that I was in charge of.
Yeah.
So we'll do more. And I don't know. We'll catch y'all in the next live stream. So later on, yo.
Later.